catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, RIDUZone.com, RIDUZone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, RIDUZone.com.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. The mothership has landed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. Which means it's Friday.
It's about damn time.
I didn't even forget what day it was today. Come on, baby.
Coming to ya.
On a dusty road. Good God. Good loving. I got a truckload.
Oh, yeah.
When you get it, baby. You know what you got?
Got something.
That's right.
So don't worry.
Why not?
Because I'm coming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a soul man. You know what? I forget every Friday that's coming. And then, of course, it just makes the whole day.
I know. It feels really good. It feels really, really good. I want to start with I want to start today with a story. I want to tell you the story about Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, Bob is a bit of a workaholic. You see, Bob lives in California, but he works with some big clients in the securities industry, you know, the Wall Street types. Money. He's a wheeler dealer. He's wheeling and dealing like he's never welt and dealt. Bob probably burns the candle at both ends. He's a hard worker, making some decent money, but it's never enough. It's that old story. Well, Bob's married. He has a daughter named Becky. Let's call her Becky. Bob's wife, Linda, she's a little demanding. Again, you've heard that story before. She wants the best stuff in the house, you know, pedigreed. Yeah, you've seen this whole story. Well, one day when Bob is at work, he gets a visit from some nice men in dark suits. And they're wearing sunglasses. You know the type, right? Oh, that's you. I'm sorry. I thought you were listening. I thought you were listening. Never mind.
Oh, no, I know the time. I'm listening.
He's likely driving a Ford.
Dark suits, like Men in Black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're driving a Ford from the government carpool. Now they work for the FBI. They're nice men. They're clean. They're well groomed. They want to talk to Bob about, well, some things that he's maybe been doing in his job that may not be on the up and up. May not be. Maybe a little shady.
Bob been on the slide.
Yeah, you've heard this story before 1,000 times. It's Wall Street. Stuff like this happens every day. But for Bob, it's the first time anyone is caught up with his grand plan to beat the system and make things happen. Make some coin for his family, including Becky. His daughter, of course, and speaking of Becky, she's an okay student. Probably not the Yale or Harvard type. I mean, they've been in the news lately, right? The Yale and Harvard types. But
oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. Bob knows Becky's never going to get into those schools, even though it would look mighty good on the family's resume. So he pulls a few strings here and there. Bob knows some people. No big deal. No big deal, that is, until the day the nice men from the FBI come to see Bob. Well, Bob knows that his kitty's in a ringer. Bob doesn't like the idea of sitting in a cold, dark prison cell somewhere, even if it is club-fed. So to make things a little easier on himself, Bob squeals like a little pig and makes a deal with the nice men. Those are the FBI guys. In exchange for going easy on Bob in the whole securities thing, they get a little inside information on a deal Bob was working on. That deal was to get Becky into a nice school. See, Bob knew a guy named Rudy Meredith, and he was the head girls soccer coach at Yale. Rudy made an offer to Bob to get Becky into Yale and to play soccer. Now, the question is Becky a good soccer player? Can she hit that ball? Can she kick that ball? Well, we don't know. What we do know is that if Bob had never gotten caught up in the little securities kerfuffle that he was in, and he hadn't had to pay or play his get-out-of-jail-free card, we'd likely never have known about that little scandal we're now calling Varsity Blues. You asked the other day how it happened. That's a great name.
That's how it happened, huh?
Yep. And I don't know if his name's Bob, but
freaking Bob.
Bob, he didn't want to go to jail. He didn't want to go to prison, so he decided he was going to let the feds in on this little deal. And it happened in a Boston hotel room in 2018. The soccer coach, Rudy Meredith, met with a father, that would be Bob from California, who was ready to pay to get his little girl into an Ivy League school. Deal was reached. Rudy agreed to designate the young woman she's identified in court documents as applicant 2 as a Yale soccer player in exchange for $450,000.
Oh, my God.
That'd be damn tempting. I'm telling you, if I'm Rudy, if I'm the soccer coach, $500,000.
So
even
far,
$450,000.
No joke.
I mean, that's awful tempting. You get that kind of money waved in front of your nose. Prosecutors said he accepted an initial payment of $2,000 in cash at the hotel and later received $4,000 through a wire transfer into a Connecticut bank account. He resigned, by the way, as the team's coach in November. After 24 years, he did not know the FBI was secretly recording the meeting. The father was a tipster to the Justice Department wearing a wire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bob took 50 people with him.
Yep, Bob sure did. But apparently Bob is not going to go to prison.
Oh, Bob got immunity?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that was the whole reason he turned over.
Nice.
He didn't want to, in this other deal over here, in deal A, Bob had his little titty in a ringer there, and he didn't want to go to prison. He didn't want the 3 hots in a cot and Bubba the Love Sponge next to him. Of course, he probably would have ended up in Club Fed anyway, but yeah, he decided he was going to sing like a bird. He got real talkative. Real talkative. And boy, everybody else, it's kind of, I don't know, it's entertaining to watch this thing unfold. I don't know why so many people are shocked.
Well, I thought it was happening for years, but
I mean, money doesn't just make the world turn. I mean, it powers everything. You got money. Money is power.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Is a root of all evil.
Is a root.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, money in and of itself is just like power. It's just like water. It can be hot or cold. It can be good or bad. Money isn't necessarily bad. It's when you start worshiping money and maybe doing things you shouldn't be doing with it that can cause a problem. Lori Loughlin, who was, her daughter, her little girl, who wasn't really all that interested in going to college. And by the way, to be fair, everybody's been playing the little clip, and I did it too, of the daughter saying I didn't want to go to I'm looking for the party.
Parties and games.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the rest of that the clip of what she was saying here. Hang on a second. Let me turn that up.
It was so sweet. With work, it's going to be hard. Like my first week of school, I'm leaving to go to Fiji for work, and then I'll be in New York a bunch this year for work and traveling to a different country because I'm creating something with this country. And
this little girl sounds like she's got it going on, actually. She sounds like she's got some deals working.
She did have some deals working. She did have a deal with Sephora.
Well, is it the daughter's fault? I mean, did the daughter know she was getting?
Well, it doesn't matter. If the company who was sponsoring her makeup tutorials on YouTube
doesn't want to be
associated with her, they just drop her. And that's what happened yesterday. Sephora dropped her.
They dropped Olivia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's for work. So I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend, but I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance.
Her deans? And they're just one dean? Her professors? Bless her heart.
It all. But I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
You know, she had it right up until that if she just, then at least she was honest. At least she was honest. But it did sound like she had a lot going for her.
Yeah, that soundbite's echoing in her mom's head right now.
Yeah, it is, because Lori Loughlin has been axed from Hallmark. She's done. Crown Media will no longer be working with Lori Loughlin, and have I been pronouncing her name wrong all these years? It is Loughlin. It's not Loughlin, right?
I've heard it pronounced both, but
How
it's
is
It's
L-O-U-G-H.
UGH. Loughlin.
I've never heard that Loughlin. So
yeah, that's I'm sure it's where you're from, but Loughlin is
where
all
am
I've
I
ever
from?
heard. But Loughlin is usually spelled Louflin.
Or unless you're in Laughlin, Nevada, which is Laughlin. Anyway,
Which is Laughlin.
let's call her Lori. It's not Laughlin. That's actually where Sam Kinison was headed the night he was killed.
Where?
Laughlin, Nevada. He
Really?
he had a gig there. He was there for the whole week.
Well, Lori Loughlin got out on bail, $1 million bond.
Yeah, and she can't. Part of the reason she can't go back to work for Hallmark, they shoot all that stuff in Canada. She doesn't have a passport, so.
She got that strip.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Geez.
Flight risk, you think? She was on the. Apparently, it was a popular period drama called "When Calls the Heart."
Yeah,
I love that. I love that show. Have you not seen that show?
I have not.
Oh man, it's
not at the top of my list of shows to watch.
It is amazing. I mean, Lori Loughlin's in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. We're saddened by the recent news surrounding the college admissions allegations. That's a statement obtained by TV Line. We're no longer working with Lori Loughlin and have stopped development of all productions that air on the Crown Media Family Network channels involving Lori Loughlin, including Garage Sale Mysteries. Damn it. They're not going to do Garage Sale Mysteries anymore? Sounds like
Did
fun.
you watch Garage Sale?
No, but that's a great title for a TV show.
I guess.
Damn it, I wish I'd thought of that one. Garage Sale Mysteries. Because it could be anything. An independent third-party production, it says. $1 million bail. She surrendered to the cops after indictment. She turned herself in. You know, that old story.
So, there was an article written, and you may be getting into this today, but there was an article written, saw it come through my notifications yesterday. I'm trying to find it, as to why William H. Macy.
It was, remember, I didn't say that it was because he probably hadn't signed the documents, and essentially
his name wasn't included in any of that.
They only had him on, there was a wiretap, I guess they had on her. They had her, on all kinds of things.
This is Felicity Huffman we're talking about. Yeah.
She was talking, I guess, on the phone to these guys on a regular basis, but William H. Macy was only on the phone a couple of times, so they didn't have enough evidence on him, basically, to convict, so they didn't even toss him in there. I mean, of course he knew what was going on.
Oh, that was a Washington Post article.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he included?
Yeah, they didn't have enough dirt on him. They didn't have enough evidence, which at least one of them won't be in prison. At least somebody will be able to mow the lawn at the house. I need to tell you another story now. This is actually the story of Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas lost 63 pounds taking Riduzone 3 times a day for 14 weeks.
Wow.
That's a lot of weight. He said, during the time, I had not experienced any side effects. He said Riduzone helped him control his appetite. Because of that, he ate less. And as the weight came off, the level of activity went up. His waist size went down. Riduzone helping me reset my internal satiety. So he makes me feel fuller all the time to reduce my caloric intake and burn fat. That word shouldn't exist. Satiety. Satiety. See, it sounds like you're saying say shitty. Anyway, it doesn't...
say shitty.
Yeah, that too. That's the thing about Riduzone. It has this little thing in it called OEA. It's a natural metabolite, actually, of olive oil. It's produced in the human body, and sure, you don't have to buy Riduzone to get it. You can drink olive oil. You would need about 12 liters of olive oil to produce as much OEA as in 1 bottle of Riduzone. So you take your choice. You buy Riduzone, and you can take that each day. Just a little glass of water when you're just before you're going to eat. Or you could go out and buy some olive oil and drink a couple of cups of olive oil before every meal, and you'd probably lose weight too because you'd be throwing up a lot. I would opt for the Riduzone if it were me, but that's just me. Special 30% off coupon will be automatically applied to a 3-bottle promotion. If you go to riduzone.com, you can lower your calorie consumption. You can help speed up your metabolism. You can lose that ugly fat, and you can do it with Riduzone. It's riduzone.com. I don't know if you saw the tweet. I tweeted it last night. It was after Chef Patrick was in. Chef Patrick showed me how to make pie.
What?
Oh, you didn't see it? Yeah, he made this. He made pie like this. The sign for pie.
Oh my God! He was giving you the finger.
He was giving me the finger. Can you believe that? It's not on the Twitter wall now because
Pie Day.
That was yesterday. Was Pie Day. He was showing me how to make pie. But here's the good news. The middle finger has now been protected by the Constitution, at least in Taylor, Michigan. Federal appeals courts say a Michigan
Free speech.
Yep. Michigan woman's constitutional rights were violated when she was handed a speeding ticket after giving the finger to a suburban Detroit officer in 2017. A decision means that a lawsuit by Deborah Cruz Gullius can proceed. This was a 3-0 decision Wednesday rather. The court said the Taylor officer, Matthew Menard, should have known better even if the driver was rude.
Right, but was she speeding? Whether she gave him the finger or not, was she speeding?
He said, or they said that...
Unless they were on camera going, look, you mouth off again, I'm just going to give you a speeding ticket. That's different.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say she was. He said he wrote her for a ticket for a lesser violation, but when the stop was over, she gave him the middle finger. He then pulled her over again and changed the ticket to a more serious speeding offense.
Okay.
Doesn't say she. Now we don't know if she was speeding. He just wrote her a ticket for speeding. She's innocent until proven guilty. But that was kind of. I mean, I know it's irritating if you're a cop. I mean. But you got to know people are going to do. I would not want to be a cop. Not for,
no, it would be too tough nowadays.
No,
I mean, look, they've got to have the patience of Job to be able to do the job. You watch these videos on YouTube of, these people who film the cops when they pull them over and then mouth off and do all this other stuff.
Those cops need to learn how to react far better than what they're doing on those videos.
Don't get me wrong. That's a valid point. And you talk to Dominic Izzo, he will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
He did the cop that got pulled over for speeding in his squad car by a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic went through that and just gave kind of a detailed overview. And he said he pointed out every place that the cop did wrong when he walked back to the citizen's car to talk to him about it.
So wait a minute, a citizen's arrest on a cop?
A citizen?
For doing what?
He didn't arrest him. He just pulled him over.
Oh.
And the cop was in front of him, and the cop got out of his car and walked back, and he said, "What's the problem?" He said, "You were speeding." And so the cop lit into him. By the end of the conversation between the two, the cop had given him his card, thanked him for his,
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa.
Wow. See, we can all get along. It just takes a little patience, that's all. The cops on YouTube, though, the videos that you see, obviously those are, hand selected. You don't see the other ones that are boring, but those guys and women, they need to learn how to better handle those situations. I don't think they realize the number of people that will see them, or maybe they do realize and they just don't care.
Every situation is different. Everything happens on the fly most of the time. And it's patience and staying to the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what can you do? Look, if you're not a cop and you get into that kind of discussion with somebody, what usually ends up happening? You flip them off, you beat the hell out of them, whatever the case may be. But a cop has to carry a different type of.
Yeah, they're trained to be peacekeepers, essentially.
That's fact.
Again, I wouldn't want to do it. I took the Sheriff's Academy test in L.A. back when I was a young pup, and I passed the test to get into the Sheriff's Academy, but I just...
Did you didn't ever go in?
Nope. No, my big idea back then, I was going to go into the Sheriff's Academy and become an L.A. County Sheriff, and then I was going to work my way into the Secret Service.
I almost had an in on the Secret Service. That would have been fun.
What's your story? What happened to you? Why are you sitting over there?
I got out of the military.
Same reason.
It was in the military. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same reason I'm sitting on this side of the glass, I guess.
We could have been somebody. We could have had those glasses on, talking into our wrists. Yeah, we've got rubber duck over here.
Rubber duck.
No, we didn't want to end up there. We wanted to end up right here. This is important. Imagine if we weren't here today. It'd be awfully, awfully, awfully quiet. Awfully quiet. We'd probably be sleeping in right now. You know how it goes. All right, over on the Twitterverse, don't forget to get your communiques in using the hashtag What I Learned Today. Larky F and Farkin, the problem is everyone thinks they have a right to film a cop who pulls them over and act like a dick doing it. Rule number 1 and rule number 5, Violet. Yeah, that's true. And that is the thing with a lot of these videos is I understand what the people, and I applaud them for it, the people who are they're all about what their rights are. They know most of them have, read the local laws. They know what they're, some of them haven't, obviously, and some of them just act like jackasses just to get the reaction. But that's where the cops have to know that that's what these guys are doing. And
they want to be able to show the video to their friends and go, see,
and
I stood up to him.
They've got these networks that they are specifically, they're networks of these people who go out and shoot these videos. They're like the Anti-Tyranny Society, for example.
Oh, no, the ones that I love watching just because these people are idiots. The Sovereign Citizen.
Yeah, but do you see how many views they get?
Oh, they get tons of views. A lot
of people
watching
those.
But that's because people want to watch that idiocy and go, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll become a sovereign citizen. Half of them do it okay. The other half of them are just dumb.
Yes. Yeah, they don't do it right. They act like dicks, and they shouldn't do that. That diminishes what they're seemingly trying to do. Stephen English says a DJ in New Jersey dedicated the I-95 asshole song to a state trooper that gave her a ticket. Is that the one that Dennis
I-95 asshole song? I've not heard it.
Who's the guy? Not Dennis Leary. Is it Dennis Leary was on? He's the comedian, right? Dennis.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Timothy Leary. Dennis Leary. Anyway, that was the guy that the song that Rachel Donahue played down when I was the operations manager at K Ocean in Newport Beach, that she was playing one afternoon, and general manager just went ballistic and demand that I go
shut her off.
Yeah, you don't shut Rachel Donahue off. Rachel Donahue does what Rachel wants to do. Rachel lives in France now. Thank you. Who found the pic? JR15. Thank you. There's a meme of me. Hey, Mr. Carter, I'm going to protect the president. See, with that hair, that's some good-looking hair I had back then. I miss that hair.
The Chris Angel look. Is that what you're talking about?
I miss that hair. There's some things you just. Well, that is, it is what it is. By the way, money. Speaking of money and the story of Bob, don't do things like Bob did. The story of Bob and his family and his trying to buy Becky's way into Yale. If you actually get in touch with Era Capital Management and let them manage your money, there's a shot. Nothing's guaranteed because there's always the chance that, investing involves the chance of loss. But there's always a shot that you could have enough money to send your kids to Yale or to Harvard or wherever you wanted to. But it takes proper planning. You see, proper planning prevents piss-poor performance. I've got that one down now. Proper plan. I sound like Beto O'Rourke. He did that whole alliteration thing yesterday. I don't even think he knew he was doing it, but I knew I was doing it, you see. Proper planning prevents piss-poor performance. Era Capital Management, that's where you want to go. EraCapitalManagement.com. And as a matter of fact, when you go there, you will find, where did it go? There it is right there. See, right there. Boop. You'll find all the reasons that you should be talking to the fine folks at Era. They can deal with your 401k, your IRA, if you have a 401k at some company that you no longer work for, which I wonder if Doc ever got around to getting that other 401k moved. You know what? I will tell you this. That is the thing. You never know when your e-ticket's going to get punched. Thank you, Doc, for making that point. You never know. I mean, it could be today. It could be next week. Might not be for 10 years. But here's the thing. If you don't have all your ducks in a row when you die, guess who gets stuck trying to clean up the mess? Your family, your wife, your husband, whomever, your significant other. And I can tell you that they don't want to do that. They don't want to be the ones cleaning up your mess. Get everything in order. Go to eracapitalmanagement.com and get your financial house in order before something hits you like a train. I hope that doesn't happen to you for many, many years to come. Speaking of coming up, we've got a little conversation with Tommy Fisher. Boy, wait till you hear... we'll tell you. It's coming up here.
The 4 F's. Freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Here's a little bit of a Friday conundrum for you. When are you an adult? At what point in your life? What age do you become an adult? Legally, it's the age of 18. When you achieve your majority, you are no longer a minor. You can do many, many things. You can sign a contract legally. You can enter into an agreement to buy a home. And you can sign up for the military. You can volunteer to fight and die for your country. You can vote at the age of 18. That's when the government recognizes you are an adult. It wasn't always 18. It was 21. Well, during the Vietnam War, people got tired of being drafted and forced to fight in a war they did not approve of, and they wanted to be able to vote out the politicians who were sending them there. So there was a move to lower the voting age to 18, and the 26th Amendment changed that. Now there's a move to lower the voting age to 16.
I myself, personally, I'm not speaking for my caucus, I myself have always been for lowering the voting age to 16. I think it's really important to capture kids when they're in high school.
Prior to yesterday's statement by Pelosi, I'd never heard her mention lowering the voting age to 16. I think she's just pandering. But 2 things in that statement. Number 1, the use of the term capture, and then the reference to voters at 16 as kids. Do you really want kids running the country? I point to the 29-year-old AOC as an example of no. Testudo, my friend. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Yeah, it continues now. The Daily Mojo. It is Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. It is Friday. DMXDM just tweeted, Doc finally trained Brad. Train me to what? Oh, yes, the getting everything in order. I'm not easily trainable. I will be the first to admit that. As a matter of fact, oftentimes when you try to train me to do something, I tend to do the direct opposite.
That is for damn sure. Don't we all, though?
It's a character flaw.
Nah, you're not the only one.
Can't fix character flaws.
People don't like to be told what to do.
Some people do.
Some people
love being told what to do.
Well, and some people accept it.
Yeah.
Other people are like, screw you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's generally me. I don't think he had to get hit by a train to teach me a lesson, but I do eventually learn. All right, on the phone line right now, Tommy Fisher is the president of it's Fisher Sand and Gravel Company, and I have to admit, Tommy, when I first saw that, I was like, Fisher Sand and Gravel Company. This should be an interesting interview. You've actually submitted a proposal to the president, though, to complete the 234 miles of border protection system. Correct, sir?
Yes, that is, Brad.
All right. So first of all, what is it that Fisher Sand and Gravel Company does? I'm assuming the name kind of says it all, but go ahead and explain.
Yeah, we're a vertically integrated company that not only produces sand and gravel for all the aggregates, we asphalt pave, concrete pave. We're one of the largest steel manufacturer companies in the Southwest and the Midwest. So we have a wide range of all products that can completely build the border protection system for the U.S. government.
So you are in a unique situation to be able to offer this service to the government, and it's a made in America, obviously, border protection system. But yours is a little different than, I guess, what maybe any other proposal would have included. And describe the proposal that you submitted.
Well, we submitted the proposal to sort of break the chains of bureaucracy, where we guaranteed if they went forward with the 234 miles for about $1.4 billion less than the government could build, complete barrier fence, complete roadway for the agents, and complete electrical and technological for the agents as well. So not only does our barrier go in sort of what their design is, but we use basically all weathering steel, which gives the lifespan of the barrier an extra 35 to 40 years. And then the paved roadways, of course, which are far superior to the gravel and the dirt that they're currently driving on. And
they're essentially called high-speed roadways, and the reason they're high-speed is just because they're paved, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And that way the agents can react faster and protect the country a lot better.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense because as I was reading here, the fact that the border agents can, in that case, there would need to be either fewer of them or working fewer shifts because they could get to where they needed to be more quickly. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and they're having a hard time filling the roles right now with the vacancies. And if they were on paved roads and they could have the comfort of their vehicles or the protection of their vehicles, I think you could hire them easier too. Sure,
that makes total sense. When you submit a proposal like this to the government, do you hear back from them? Does it fall into a black hole? Or tell us what kind of go through the process.
Well, we're hoping to hear back from them. Now, we presented for them a couple days ago where we actually demonstrated live that we could do exactly what we said. Mm-hmm. So within a matter of an hour and a half, they saw 200-foot fence go up before their eyes, and then by the second hour, they saw the roadway appear. And so hopefully they take that back to the rest of the people and basically say that, these guys are for real. They saw our steel manufacturing facility that we can build all the panels. Mm-hmm. Up to 1.5 miles a day. And now it's up to them. It falls in their lap where, there's no more excuses, that bureaucracy can't do this. There's no more excuses that 20 miles a year, secures our border when there's a 2,000-mile border. Mm-hmm. It's now time to do at least 1 mile to 2 miles a day and get this done.
That's pretty amazing that you can put up fencing that quickly. And how tall is the barrier that you've proposed?
Well, there's two heights, one 18-foot and one 30-foot. So we gave the government options for both. Mm-hmm. And basically with our patented hanging system, it's no problem. We also demonstrated the technique in 35-mile-an-hour winds.
Wow.
Where if you were trying to do it conventionally with the cranes, you would be shut down and no border would be protected. So they were pretty amazed.
It sounds amazing just hearing about it. I've what section of the border were you down around, like the McAllen area, or?
Well, we were in our facility in Coolidge, Arizona.
Okay.
So we demonstrated it right by our factory.
Oh, okay.
So they got to see, a couple hundred steel workers, all American-made steel, and basically not only see our technique of actually installing the fence and producing the construction, but to go through the manufacturing facility, because you need all the aspects in order to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, this is Ron Phillips. I have a question for you that I know I've seen a lot of people ask this question, or at least have some concerns about it. How far in the ground does the barrier go, or is there something in place to keep tunneling from happening?
So the foundation is anywhere between 6 and 7 feet. So if you did want to tunnel, you could always tunnel deeper than that. But with the technology that's out there, you can detect the tunnels, and you actually have the roadways to ensure that you have agents right there. So if there was any tunneling deeper, and they can detect it pretty quick, you have the roadway that could back up a truck with an auger, and you could fill the tunnel full of grout or concrete.
Right. Yeah.
So once you dig it once or twice, I think that game's over.
See, here's the problem, Tommy. This sounds like A, it works, and B, it's way too efficient. And those two things, when you put those together with the word government, they're usually not used in the same sentence. And you know what you've been dealing with him. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. That's why we went not only to Homeland Security. Hopefully, it's reached its way to the White House. We've met several congressmen and senators. And, I'm originally from North Dakota, so a couple of our senators have taken it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see a big push. And we're going to invite a lot of the political people out now that we've guaranteed and we've proven our thing. And I think the push is there. America needs its border secured.
Absolutely.
I think you're going to see a lot more push than you ever have from the congressional districts all the way. And if talk radio comes forward, I'll start doing a lot more media appearances and let the public decide, if they're going to go and they're going to put up with 40 miles of, not very high quality fence put up that only is going to last 20 to 30 years, or if you want to get this done once and for all.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we all know the government likes to do things once and never do them again. Tommy, I wish you the best on this. I mean, it sounds like I said, it sounds like a fantastic plan. It sounds like it makes sense. It sounds like, you can save the government money. It's going to work. It has features that they hadn't even counted on that make it. It's sounds to me like it's doomed if it's the government that you're dealing with. But I wish you all the best, and I hope that you will keep us posted on this, because you've also guaranteed that the work could be done by November 2020? Was that the date that I saw? But that is if they approved it this week, right?
Yeah, and I think we can still, what we showed yesterday, 2 days ago, I think even if they gave me the go-ahead by May 1st, we could still make that schedule pretty easy. And then the bottom line is once we start, guys, and these agents actually see what real border security infrastructure looks like, you're going to have thousands and thousands of agents demanding that this is what they deserve to protect each and every one of us. Enough is enough.
Oh, absolutely. And we've been down to the border, met the border agents, and those guys are doing an amazing job with such limited resources and 1.5 of their hands tied behind their back. It's sad. Yeah, it's criminal what we're making. It's kind of like what we're doing to our soldiers in foreign wars, is the fact that we're not allowing them to do it the right way. We've got all of these rules and regulations on them, and it should be criminal. All right, Tommy Fisher, the president again of and CEO of Fisher Sand and Gravel Company. Wish you all the best, and hope that you'll keep us posted. We'll be keeping an eye out on this project for you. Fingers crossed.
Okay, thank you so much for having me on.
You bet. Thank you. That's going to be interesting.
Well, it will be. Look, Tommy and his crew, they've got a lot of red tape to get through. And that's the government bureaucracy at work.
And that's the problem, is that you have a company, you have a merit.
Well, not only that, they're fighting the liberal side of this tooth and nail.
But even if they weren't doing that, the fact of the matter is, when you are dealing with the government, Tommy is a perfect example of American ingenuity. The private sector being able to do something cheaper, better, that lasts longer,
absolutely
faster than the government could ever dream of. And sometimes government doesn't like the competition.
Well, and there's a saying that Matt Locke uses, that the government doesn't make any money, but they don't. They actually do. They don't make any product, or they don't make money. But
take
they
our
actually
money.
do.
What
happens is, you'll have one set of people out there, making the deal, and then they resell it to the government for a huge markup. That's how you get $16,000 hammers. But
when you say the government doesn't make anything. They don't. The only way the government has any money is they take it from us.
Well,
that's the only way the government has any money.
The next time our friend is up here talking to us, I'll let you think about who that friend is. I will let him describe it to you like he described it to me. We'll have that discussion off the air. But
this sounds
yeah.
Really? Is this like deep throat stuff?
Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, I like the behind the scenes stuff.
The government makes money. It doesn't come out to the public.
Interesting.
It's ridiculous.
That will be our new show, MoJo After Dark, where we revealed. This is a perfect tease, Ron. You're right. It did work. We'll be announcing that show very, very soon. Right here at MoJo.
MoJo After Dark. We need a MoJo After Dark anyways.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Remember, okay, think about having this job, speaking of jobs, being the Iceman. Remember when they used to deliver ice to
that was my name on the radio back in the 80s.
You and Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that's why I had it. That was right at the same time that Top Gun came out.
Yeah.
And I was in the Air Force, and I was on the radio, and of course, I don't know how they got the Air Force from confused with the Navy, but I was in the Air Force.
Same thing.
And
We both wear uniforms.
I was the Iceman Ron Phillips, and guess where I was on the radio at? You bet. North Dakota.
Well, see? Made perfect sense then.
Yes, the Iceman. Go back to your story.
No, I was going to say the Iceman. They used to deliver ice to people, and they put it in their ice box.
That's right.
Literally, you had an ice box.
That's why it was called an ice box and not a refrigerator.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because it was basically a wood box, had a little bit of insulation in it, and people would stick a big block of ice in there, and that's where they'd keep their food. It's too bad that job went away. Iceman just went away, didn't it?
It did.
No, it didn't. Think about this. What do you see out in front of the convenience stores every week?
Oh, the bags of ice.
Yeah, there's still an Iceman.
And you know what? We've got a what are those called? A kiosk kind of building that sits out in front of our grocery store there in that little town where you can buy blocks and or bags of ice.
Yeah. Do they come by and fill that up, or does it make them right there?
Oh, no,
inside?
it makes them right there, I'm sure.
That's cool.
It's all internal.
Started thinking about that. Back in the day, you had the box in the house called, and that's why sometimes you hear a refrigerator referred to as an ice box.
That's the olden days right there.
But I started thinking about how when you leave the house, you can't take the fridge with you, so you need your cat cooler. Your cat cooler is your ice box.
Cat cooler probably keeps the ice longer than an ice box.
Oh yeah, the cat cooler will keep. And here's the difference: in the olden days, your ice box was in your house, so you could put it if you had a basement, you put it down there, or you put it in a cool part of the house. So it had an advantage. With a cat cooler, you take those bad boys out in the full sun; these things will still keep your ice cold for days. I mean, that's how the technology is, how far it's come. And I just noticed this on their website. They have the blue collar line, which just go catcoolers.com and check.
That's the one that changes colors.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's like the old, what is it, the Coors can, where the mountains turn blue?
Yeah.
This one is the one that lets you know that it's cold inside it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You can get 27-quart coolers.
The one we gave away at SHOT Show, I don't know how big that one was, but the walls on that joker were about 2.5 inches thick.
Yeah. They're amazing coolers. They really are. I mean, the way they put these things together, and I've told this story before. We put ice in it the other place, and I sat it in the back, and I think it was 5 or 6 days later, I went back, there's still ice in there. And it's like, man, how do it do it?
How do it work?
How do it work? Catcoolers.com is that the summer's coming. You're going to need one of these things. And if you do some serious outdoor partying, they got the coolers. They've got the colors, the yellow, the black, the white, the camo, and then make sure you look at the blue collar ones as well. And the drinkware and the accessories. Remember to use promo code Brandon. See, I'm a giver.
You are a giver.
Use promo code Brandon for my young
protege.
Well, I don't want to call him a protege. We're just going to have to get him a new alarm clock, though, because he can never seem to make it in here on time.
He doesn't get here on time.
He's like an hour late every day.
On Facebook, Kevin Hutchings says, on MoJo After Dark, will there be Playboy Bunny serving you drinks?
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about that, Kevin, and if you know how to get in touch with the Playboy Bunnies,
we just go down to the Party City. Party City, you buy a pair of rabbit ears, stick it on. It doesn't matter if she's hot. She walks in there, we give her rabbit ears. Poof, she's a bunny.
It doesn't matter if she's hot.
Well, no, it matters is I said as long as she's hot. Boy, did I almost screw that one up? Whoa! Hold on, stop the presses. If she's hot, no, it doesn't matter. Comma, if she's hot. Let's eat.
It doesn't matter.
Let's eat grandma
if she's hot. That's right.
Punctuation saves lives.
It doesn't matter if she's hot, he says.
Man, that could have been disastrous. Thank you for catching that. That would have really sucked if we'd had the howlers coming in. You don't want that to happen.
God bless you.
You only get the rabbit ears. You walk in, you're hot. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah, MoJo After Dark. You know what? We have been talking with one of our other show hosts about a new show that we're trying to put together. that might go along the lines of MoJo After Dark. It would
Is this
be.
where you tell me I should read my emails?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I'm not sure this one's going around in the emails, but
okay.
it might be something that would appeal to the After Dark crowd. So let's just leave it there.
Which
right
pretty much just the
is
entire Jackal
pretty much
Nation.
everybody on the Jackal Nation.
They're not. They should be. By the way, while you're at MoJo50.com, don't forget we still have the Doc Thompson merchandise, souvenir merchandise from Doc Thompson. It's up when you go to Mojo50. Just go to shop, and the first little drop-down item will be Doc Thompson, and you'll find that it's on sale because we will only profit on a dead guy if we can put it on sale. But we'll ride that dead guy as long as humanly possible. Actually, some very cool stuff. Who bought the poster? Somebody was telling me a story about buying the poster last night.
The framed.
Yeah. Can't remember, but it was a
Several
damn good
people,
story.
yeah, several
damn
people
good
have,
story.
because you can get it in multiple sizes. Now it's a square pre-framed print is what it is. But you can get that all the way up to 18 by 18. I think it's 10 by 10 up to 18 by 18.
Good size right there. You can have
it is, and the pictures have come in where people have bought that. The pillow. I want to see a picture of the pillow. If anybody has a
preferably
picture,
if you're hot laying on it naked.
Okay, that too. But
Why
if
not?
you have a picture of the pillow, I'd like. If you bought that, I would like to see what
Somebody
it looks
bought the pillow. I saw someone squeezing the pillow the other day. I thought they had tweeted a picture of it.
like. Well, we had a problem with the mugs, and that
What was the
problem.
problem?
Well, the problem was my problem. I'm the one that screwed that up. When I created the
I find that
mugs-
hard to believe.
No, dude. Oh my God, I was trying to get it done in such a hurry, and when
Haste makes waste, they say.
it was the 15-ounce mugs, because we have an 11-ounce mug and a 15-ounce mug.
Right.
The 15-ounce mugs weren't printed correctly the first time, so we have a lot of.
What did they say?
They just had a logo on them. Actually, what it was when you create the print image for that, you have to separate the logo and the text manually on each size of the mug. Well, I did that on the 11-ounce, but not the 15-ounce. So what they did, these goober people, these people kill me. What they did was they printed the text on the mug and then put the logo right over the top of it.
Well, at
And
least
some-
it didn't say
so-
my mom's a whore.
So some people got some people got extra mugs now because we covered the cost of getting those shipped out.
Okay, so if you have one of those mugs, first of all, tweet a picture because I'd love to see it. And secondly, hang on to it because it is now officially a collector's item.
There is that.
And it could be worth
and you know what else we've got?
5-6 times its value.
That
in
people
a couple of
probably
years.
don't realize, but the one that's out there that looks like it's got a black ring around the top of it, the mug,
Right.
that's actually a
18 karat gold?
No. That mug actually comes to you completely black, but when you put hot coffee in it, then everything appears on the mug.
How do it know?
How do it? Because it's hot. It's like
Wow.
that. It's like that cat cooler we were talking about.
Yeah, or
It changes colors.
Or the pen when you held it and the girl's clothes fell off.
You had one of those? I had
yeah.
one of those.
Oh, yeah.
When you turn it upside
You
down.
turned it
Oh,
upside
yeah.
down, the clothes went away.
If you still have a pen where the girl's clothes
If you got
go-
a pen like that, please tweet out a picture of it. We'd love to see it.
or send us one. That'd be great.
I'll take one of those. I'll bet they don't make those anymore. I'll bet that is now considered sexist. I'll bet that's now
It probably
considered
is.
morally abhorrent.
It probably is.
When did the human body become morally abhorrent?
I don't know.
I just, I don't want to live in a world where I can't have a pen where a woman's clothes fall off every time I go to write something. I mean, that right there, that's American ingenuity.
Oh, man.
That meeting, when they had that meeting at that company that day, look what I invented. Look, right with the pen. Holy crap, her clothes fall off. Damn, we'll sell 1 million of these.
Well, they probably did at the time.
Yes. Probably the same company that came up with a pet rock.
Or the Chia Pet, for the love
At least
of
the
Pete.
Chia Pet did something and does
The
something.
only time a Chia Pet worked was when it looked like an animal or Bob Ross.
Yeah, because it did get kind of a fro. I mean, yeah, that's true. But they
What were
least
some-
they
what
did
were some of the-
something.
what were some of the
Golden
other
Girls.
stupidest?
The Golden Girl. They're still. If you can go to a Walgreens right now, they still have the Golden Girls Chia Pets,
Oh, of course. they
which
do.
doesn't look a damn thing like any of them. But people are still buying them because, again, at least it does something. With a pet rock, all you did, you got it home and you sat it there.
Did you have a pet rock?
I can't remember if I did or not, and if I did, I was an idiot for getting rid of it because now it's worth probably $20, $30.
My pet rock sat on the front porch, and it always told me when it rained.
Because if it was wet,
it was raining.
What if it was moving? Oh no! If you had to put it on a string to be able to tell.
Oh,
if it was
you had
windy.
to put it on a string.
Right.
All right. So the joke fell flat then.
No, you were close. No,
Actually,
you were
I
right.
think
You
I,
did. You
I think
were
I
right
probably
on that
had a pet rock when I was young.
No, they sell if you go to like Cracker Barrel or whatever, they have the little rock
on a
hanging
swing.
from. Yeah, and if it's moving, it's windy. If it's wet, it's raining. If it's hot, it's sunny. It works. That is technology
It's the
that
meteorologist.
It works
rock.
every day. It works all the time. It never has to be rebooted. Ever. It never gets
there is that.
confused. It never brings up the wrong app, the wrong program. It never does anything. It
doesn't even talk back.
Nope. It is the perfect mate. It is the perfect thing to have on your front porch. A happy story from Essex, Massachusetts. By the way, speaking of stories coming up after headlines in the next half hour, we will do Friday leftovers. Wish me luck. But a happy story in the meantime from Essex, Massachusetts. This was back in 2013. Eleanor Rapucci. Hello, Eleanor. She let her little tabby cat, Larry, out for a walk. This is in August of 2013, so almost 6 years ago. Let's call it 5.5. She opens the door. Larry walks. Cat walks off.
Look out now. The jackals don't like it when Matt makes the cat noise.
No, they can get over it. I make the cat noise.
Tabby Larry.
But here's the thing. After he walked out the door, Larry left the door and never came back. She and her family spent weeks searching for Larry. And eventually they just figured that Larry had been eaten by a bobcat or something. Larry had been eaten by some other animal or maybe killed and left by the side of the road. Their house is near some woods. I had a cat that got eaten by a coyote once. I'll tell that sad story later. But just recently, an animal rescue shelter in Salisbury, Massachusetts, about 20 miles from her home, called her. This was last Thursday. Or was it yesterday? That was yesterday.
How long ago has he? How long ago?
August 2013, Larry walked out the door. And then never came back.
Wow.
Until yesterday when they called her from the Salisbury Animal Rescue Shelter and said they found a cat with a microchip registered to her. And it was, in fact, Larry. 5.5 years later, Larry is healthy, but missing part of a paw. So apparently, Larry spent the past 5.5 years looking for the man who shot his paw.
Oh, my God.
I added that last part, but no, that's true. I
was hoping the story didn't end there.
It does end there. He's fine. The cat's
he
great.
Was looking for the man who shot his paw.
Wouldn't you be if he shot part of your paw?
You sound like something from Little House on the Prairie, dude.
Paw. That was she was hot, Melissa Sue Anderson.
Oh yeah,
those eyes.
She was the older sister.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Who went blind, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, she did. But she had those like gray or really light blue eyes. She was. Didn't she go crazy? One of the Melissa Gilbert didn't. Melissa Sue Anderson. She just disappeared.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing her in anything else.
I haven't seen her either. But she was. She was a hot one. In Keystone, Colorado. This is last week. This is the beginning of this week. So many things are happening this week. Rescuers there in Colorado had a call from a homeowner who had a basement. They have those little window wells, outside the basement windows.
Right.
So you can see the daylight even from your basement. They had a little problem with their window well. A bull moose tripped and fell into their window well. And
how big was the damn window well?
They say it was the 5-foot deep window well. This house is 77 miles west of Denver, but it's a 5-foot window well. Apparently, it's big enough for a moose weighing between 800 and 1,000 pounds to fall into. Because apparently, what happens is mooses, when they're walking, they're trying to avoid snowdrifts. They walk close to structures where there's no snowdrift, which makes sense because there wouldn't be snow right under the
Walking
eave of
around
the house.
eave of the
Right.
house.
Well, apparently no one told the moose there was a window well there. So the window well became the home, at least temporarily, for the moose. Sorry, folks. Moose out front should have told you. They had to. They're going to want signs to warn mooses now. They had to construct kind of a little pulley system to lift this moose out of the window well. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing you are. I mean, if he fell in. So if it's 5 foot deep, he must have fallen in face first.
Well, exactly. I started saying, honestly, I've never seen a window well that was large enough to hold a moose.
Well,
but there may have been.
There's one in Denver, or one just outside of Denver near Keystone.
I guess it depends on how wide the windows are, maybe. I don't know.
So there's the poor moose, ass up in the air, down inside this window well, and they have to come out and put a strap around it and hoist it out of the window well. And apparently the moose is doing fine. No injuries. Maybe his pride. It did take about 6 hours, and it took up to 35 people to get the moose out of the window well. You know what? That's going to be a story they can tell their grandkids. That's a beautiful story.
Oh, that'll be fun.
The day kids gather around. Let me tell you about the day the moose almost fell into the house. Because I would think with that rack on them, they would be thrashing around at the bottom of the window well, and it's a window well. There's bound to be glass close by. I can't imagine those windows survived. But at least the moose did not get into the home and destroy anything. That is the good news. And as I said, the moose returned to Moose Woods with no injuries. See, it's an hour that ends on a happy note. A very, very happy note. Now, hopefully, Brandon made it into work on this Your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. Armit Thompson. New Zealand is in shock following a terror attack on 2 mosques that left at least 49 people dead, dozens wounded.
The first attack was at the Masjid Al-Nur Mosque in central Christchurch. Ramzan Ali says the shooting lasted about 20 minutes.
What I did was basically waiting for that and praying to God, oh God, please, let this guy run out of bullets.
Ali says a man who told him not to go back inside was himself shot by the gunman.
I don't want to talk about it because it took me about probably half an hour before my shaking stopped.
Authorities later confirmed a second attack at the Linwood Masjid Mosque. A man claiming responsibility for the shootings left a 74-page anti-immigrant manifesto. I'm Mike Gracia.
4 people have been arrested, one of them charged with murder. And this from Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison.
I can confirm that the individual who was taken into custody, I've been advised, is an Australian-born citizen.
The BBC's Howell Griffith says the bloodshed has stunned New Zealand, a country where such violence is unheard of.
This woman was driving near the mosque and stopped to help the injured.
The guy I was compressing, he was trying to ring his wife, and I managed to get it, and I answered the phone, and I said to her, your husband's been shot outside the mosque. I said, and don't come here to Dean's Ave, you won't get through, but please go to the hospital, wait for him. And then I kept talking to him and telling him that she was at the hospital waiting and he wasn't to give up.
New Zealand's Prime Minister calling this one of her country's darkest days. President Trump isn't expected to waste any time vetoing a congressional resolution that blocks his southern border emergency declaration. Mr. Trump's very first veto could come later today. North Korea says it may resume missile development and testing, may end nuclear talks with the U.S. Wall Street, Dow futures up 117 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because I know them. I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org, m25m.org.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
Lawrence Aviso. Tonight at 7. MoJo 50.
Hey guys, Matt Locke, the Conservative Cartel. I'd like to take a minute and tell you about a new weight loss product that's instantly becoming part of the MoJo 50 family. It was launched by a Dallas area company who had taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. A 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened, and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. One Ridges-own client, Sarah, recently lost over 100 pounds. While she looks amazing, she has been struggling every day with cravings. Now that she's taking Ridges-own, she says it's so much easier to control her appetite and she's not thinking about food all day. Ridges-own contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to ridgezone.com, RIDUZONE.com, and enter the code MATT, M-A-T-T. That's Ridgezone, RIDUZONE.com.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50.
The mothership has landed.
All right. Apparently his alarm clock still isn't working, but that's okay, Brandon. At least you're here. The Brandon Morse Jones joins the Daily Mojo. At least you're here.
Thanks.
At least you're safe.
I am so okay to be here.
Your father and I were very worried about you. So Stinky just tweeted, that's either an amazing rescue story of a moose or a real Brad Staggs attempt at an adult story. Hashtag ass up.
I started to say, you did say ass up and the big large rack.
It's a moose. How else would the moose, if he fell down the window well, he's going to be ass up. I mean, unless he was attempting to jump across the window well and his back little paws slipped and they went in and he went ass down. But then he'd be able to kind of jump back up, I would think, because those back
So
legs.
I must have missed a part of this. I'm guessing a moose tried to get in somewhere that he couldn't.
Moose out front should have told you. A moose fell into a wheel. I want to say wheel well, but it was a window well in just outside of Denver.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it took him 6 hours and 35 people to get it out.
Have you seen a moose in person?
Yes, they're huge.
Yeah.
This must have been a baby moose.
And they have a huge rack.
Yeah, they do. You ever seen one ass up? Incredible. Mojo Jedi said, as a child, we had a cow fall into our swimming pool, and we didn't live on a farm either. I'm assuming we're talking about the bovine variety of cow. Texas Yankee says, a moose once bit my sister. Hashtag Monty Python reference of the day. And Red Gate Trek. That's the problem with Twitter is there's the the capitalization. It makes a big deal in trying to recognize what words are separated in this long string of letters.
Yeah.
And it's just how it happened. It's a meme of Bullwinkle J. Moose.
Bullwinkle?
Yeah.
Moose and
Bullwinkle.
Moose and squirrel.
See?
Squirrel.
You're old enough to remember.
I remember.
Bullwinkle.
Yeah. They actually put on Rocky and Bullwinkle when I was a kid. I can remember watching Rocky and Bullwinkle as I got ready to go into kindergarten.
Those were the days.
That was back in the day, man.
Those were the days. Now they make them watch the Weather Channel or something stupid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Or we have someone on the line.
No, just a heavy breather. That's just our heavy breather sound effect right there.
I love that sound effect. That's the best.
Now, it's Peachy joining us for the what could or may or may not be a weekly update on the on how things are going in the MeWe chat room and on what's happening this Sunday on Whiskey Off Track with Whiskey 6.
Oh,
you see, it's
yeah.
Peachy works for free too, so we'll
see
use
some good company.
We'll use the hell out of her as well. Hi, Peachy.
Where's all your bells this morning, guys?
They're right here. I get belled. I I started.
Yeah, I can't keep track of all the bells. Apparently,
it's
like
hard to.
see, there it is, right there. See, it's that easy.
That's all right.
It's that easy.
All it takes is a little reminder. It's like it's like when an engine won't turn over and you just need that little extra, and that's what Peachy provides. A little extra, and then all of a sudden the bells come out. So
Peachy provided us with some.
yeah. So how are things in the
no
first of all in the
problem.
MeWe chat room?
Well, since Twitter decided to get rid of the tweet counts and the like counts, I think more people are going to be headed over there. And it's more than just a chat room now. It's more like a community. You see people asking about gun advice and praying for people's families, and it's so much fun.
Oh,
but then
nice.
you also have...
But back up. Hang on a second. What did Twitter get rid of?
No, there is.
Oh, no, there...
There was it was an article that falsely claimed actually that they were going to get rid of likes and tweet, but they had to retract on that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought they were getting rid of the counts.
That's what I thought too, and I almost wrote an article about it at Red State, and I went to go looking for any proof that they said that, and at one point in time, one of the tech articles that was writing an article about it actually said that they misquoted Twitter, and apparently they're not doing that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it still sent a bunch of people over to MeWe. So
Well,
we're
good.
thankful
Whatever
for
it takes.
that.
So for all intents and purposes, Twitter did eliminate the likes and the counts. So just keep telling people that. We'll keep
Very nice.
moving over to
And you're
MeWe.
talking about you're talking about MoJo After Dark, and you know there's a room for that, right?
Oh yeah, well I know that I know about the just outside your comfort zone on MeWe, which by the way, let me just tell you, not for the faint-hearted. So be warned if you've not ever been there. Just be warned.
They say bad
Yeah,
words.
we don't go in there unless we're drinking.
So people used to say about my bedroom when I was in high school. That's I think one of these right there.
That was good. Yeah, that was.
Or maybe
that's
one of these. Hey-o.
We think Brandon's doing great with that new What I Learned Today room.
Don't tell him
Really
that.
keeping up. There's
Don't
just
tell
one
him.
that he missed.
Don't tell him that.
I just want to give you guys a compliment for using it, because that just pretty much makes me. And that makes my job very easy. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
we
easier
can
to
follow
keep track.
directions once in a while.
I doubt that.
Yeah,
I doubt that.
Okay.
All right, so what's coming up on Off Track this Sunday night at 8:00 Central? Am I right? 8:00.
So Sunday night, we're going to try to corrupt the Defenders live. We've got Stephen Airy and Dylan on there.
Wow.
Ooh.
I between you and me, I don't think that'll be too hard to do. I think they're fairly. Thank you. Thank you. They're fairly easily corruptible. I've been on the road with Stephen, so I'll just leave it right there.
Oh,
I'll just leave it
Very
right
nice.
there.
You've had some adventures.
Just saying.
You've gotten adventurous with
I'm
Steven.
just saying that I think that you will have a reasonably easy time of corrupting the two of them. Yeah, I'll leave it right there. I'll just leave it right
Very
there.
nice.
So you should be good.
Thanks.
So you'll be talking about just life in general, anything in particular.
Yeah, life in general, where Doc touched him, how Doc touched him.
Nice.
Things like that.
Perfect. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds
It's a lot of
fabulous.
fun.
That sounds fabulous.
thanks.
I hope you have a fabulous time. Thank you for keeping us updated on the goings on on that show and in the MeWe chat room. And the one question I have for you before we let you go: are you fully clothed?
Not yet. It's still early.
Perfect. So next time, let's do this on a Facebook Live.
Sounds good.
Bradley.
All right, Peachy. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, you got to ask.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to ask. By the way, the Tar River Arms, I do want to... Today, damn it, I'm managing time.
Yeah.
I am managing time today. I'm not going to get behind on these things because, quite frankly, if I didn't tell you about Tar River Arms at traguns.com, I would be remiss. And I would also not be doing my job correctly. Because, quite frankly, Tar River Arms it's an amazing place, the most convenient gun store on earth, and America's virtual gun store. It's virtually the most convenient gun store on earth. And in reality as well. And you can call them at any time. You can email them. You can call them. I mean, it's amazing. If you just go to TRA Guns, you'll see all of the amazing stuff there. The guns that are spinning around in cyberspace, so you can see them from every angle. We had the little North American Arms 22 Magnum in here the other day. If you're looking for a concealed carry, I'm telling you, and everybody looked at it and well, that's such a cute little gun. That thing will mess you up,
dude. Yeah, it's like the you remember in Men in Black?
Oh yeah, the
little cricket.
Yes,
that's what it is.
That is a perfect comparison. It is like the cricket, because people look at you. That's not a gun. This is a gun. It's like no. Watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'll. Yeah,
It's like it's like Crocodile Dundee. That's not a gun. This is a gun.
Or Indiana Jones when the guy takes out the sword, and Indiana just pulls out the gun. Yeah, that's kind of what you feel like when you have this in your pocket. Just saying. Go to traguns.com. That's tarriverarms.com. Either one will get you there, and take a look at the fantabulous selection of firearms that not only are you going to save money on, but you're dealing with a veteran-owned company and people that actually want to help you if you don't know what gun you want. They'll help you out there. They'll get it to a local FFL in your area, and they'll do it likely for less money and find out ways that you can save on the transfer fee and all of that good stuff right there at traguns.com. See,
yeah, boy.
We're now on track. So
yeah, boy.
I say we get to the headlines. I think it's a great time to do that now.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's
Brandon Morse.
That was so quick.
See?
You were like quick draw McGraw.
I was
I loved
on top of it.
Man.
Just saying.
Thank you, Brad Staggs.
You're very welcome.
Who is not doing headlines?
No, I'm
doing headlines.
I'm now doing
because I'm sitting in this chair now.
Yeah, and now I'm doing the Friday leftovers.
Yeah. Can't wait for that too.
Me either.
It's gonna be all right. 5. I'm gonna read you 5 headlines. One of these is fake, and you have to figure out which one it is. Do not cheat.
Never.
I see some of you cheating.
Jackholes never cheat, and cheat holes never jack.
That was very good.
Thank you.
You should have that inscribed
I
somewhere
know, that really
wall.
should be on a wall somewhere. It's their new hashtag.
Jackholes never cheat, and
cheat holes never jack.
I'm putting that on a shirt.
You're welcome.
You should.
You're welcome.
Here's the first headline in today's sad news. Half of men and almost as many women don't know where the vagina is. We can see that the vagina is a body part that's a little mysterious. But we were pretty shocked by the results of a new UK survey of 2,000 adults, which found that 50% of men can't identify the vagina on an anatomically correct diagram.
Oh, so they're making the guys do it off a diagram, not a real person?
Yeah. That's the problem.
Because a real person would have been that.
Immediately pointed out. Like, I've never seen one before, but I have an amazingly weird interest in it.
Exactly.
Even more surprising.
It's England. No wonder we kicked their asses.
This is why we won. A similar survey conducted last year found that 44% of women couldn't find it on a diagram either. How is that even possible?
Don't you remember the story of the Chinese? Was it Chinese or? Anyway, they were an Asian couple, and they couldn't get pregnant. And it turns out that they were wrong hole.
No way.
Yeah.
They were treating her like a musket.
Yes.
They figured if they it would fire out.
This is my wife's musket.
The results from the surveys conducted by British gynecological health organization, the Eve Appeal, may make you laugh, roll your eyes, even shed a tear or two for the sad state of female sexual health awareness. But the finding also touch on more serious concerns as well. More than half of men polled said they would not feel comfortable discussing gynecological health issues with a female partner, and 17% said they know nothing about the topic and don't feel that they need to know as it's a female issue.
I'm good with that.
I agree, though. I kind of agree. Why is this my issue? Why do I need to worry about it?
I just
in case you ever decide to decide that you're a woman.
No, it's you only need to find it occasionally.
How come they're making a huge deal out of it any time? It's like, how come men aren't concerned about women's health?
Right.
Well, are you concerned about my balls?
That lawmaker in Alabama is.
Brandon, I'm concerned.
Well, then you can give me a checkup later, I guess.
Wow. This took a strange twist.
No, but think about it. We're always supposed to be concerned with female health. You know, you got NFL players dressing up in pink for breast awareness, and breast awareness this, and a vaginal cancer.
Channeling Doc this morning?
Yada, yada.
I think you are.
Then like, try to make a national movement out of, like, No Shave November, which is supposed to be, like, geared toward, prostate cancer.
And no, it
and
doesn't happen.
watch the left actually have a meltdown about it. Like,
Yeah.
well, you are taking away from women's health by doing this. You're taking the focus off of where it needs to. Bitch, get off my back!
Or I'll find your vagina.
Get off my back.
I will kick you in your vagina wherever it is. I don't know. Wherever you are. Wow. I should probably move on to the next headline.
Sure, why not?
Florida mayor arrested just weeks after taking over for Florida mayor who was arrested. This is the ultimate Florida man story.
This did happen in
People
Florida.
in that Florida city are going, what in the hell?
So I thought that stuff only happened in Virginia at the state level.
Believe it
They're
or
like,
not.
we're 2 for 2.
We're number one. We're number one.
Wow.
A second mayor has been arrested in Port Richey, Florida. Don't go there. 20 days after taking over for the previous mayor who had been arrested. Terrence Rose, 64, was arrested on charges of obstruction of justice, conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice, and use a two-way communication device to facilitate the commission of a crime.
Wow, that sounds serious.
That was a horrible thing to do. This was the second time in 20 days that a mayor had been arrested in the Florida town. The first being Dale Massad, 68, who is accused of firing at a Pasco Sheriff SWAT team that was arresting him on allegations that he was practicing medicine without a license.
You know, there's a lot of things you might shoot at, and I don't think a SWAT team is one of them because
that would be one of the last people I want to. Yeah,
they're really good shots. The SWAT team is, so you might get one shot off at them.
Yeah, yeah,
but they'll probably take you out.
Yeah,
if they want to.
They've also got like smoke that they can throw at you, and like
they've got all the cool stuff. You really don't want to.
Yeah. They got the gloves that have the hard plastic on the knuckles.
Yeah.
Here's the next one. Cheese exposed to hip hop tastes better.
Cheese?
Cheese exposed to hip hop tastes better.
Okay.
Yeah. A quirky experiment that exposed Swiss cheese to different kinds of music found that hip hop made it taste better. 8 wheels of
What kind of cheese?
Emmental cheese.
You know what? There's nothing like a little on a cracker.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
especially on a Ritz.
From World Cheese Championship winner Anthony Wiss were subjected separately to different musical stimulus. That's what's up. Mozart, A Tribe Called Quest, Yellow, Led Zeppelin, Techno, and 3 sinusoidal.
Hey, lady!
Sinusoidal sounds.
Is that like trance music?
Round the clock. I guess so. We're going to look that up. Round the clock for 8 months. The experiment was part of a collaboration between the students at the University of Arts Bern and veterinarian Beat Wampfler.
Having the form of a sine curve. Sinusoidal.
Sine curve.
Relating to or involving a sinusoid.
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
What the hell is a sinusoid?
That really helps me point that
but
out.
But a sine wave, so it's like a sine wave.
Like this?
Sinusoidal. So it's like that's what they were. When you're stoned, that sounds really cool. You could listen to that for hours.
The project was baptized Cheese and Surround Sound, a culinary experiment.
And it only cost $50 to get in.
That's right. A blind tasting test 8 months later found that the wheel exposed to hip-hop was the most unique taste profile. The bacteria did a good job, Wampfler said on Thursday during a presentation of the results. The sensory analysis revealed that the cheese that was exposed to hip-hop was remarkably fruity, both in smell and taste, and significantly different from the other samples. We were overwhelmed, says Professor Michael Herrenberg, who provided the scientific support for the experiment. At first, I thought it was a typical Swiss reaction. Right, the Swedes.
Right.
I know the Swiss. Those Swiss.
Swedes. Those damn Swedes. Have you ever had Swede cheese?
I've had Swiss.
Swede cheese. You've had
Swiss
cheese. Swede cheese is something.
At first, I thought it was a typical Swiss reaction because cheese plays such a huge cultural role here in the in Emmental. But even journalists from the South African places approached us for interviews and information. Wow. Okay.
Bully for them, huh?
Yeah. That's it. Good. Hip-hop cheese.
See, hip-hop cheese.
I want to see it on my store shelves. Here's the next one. 2020 presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg announced bold plan for 2,500 mile. Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg,
that guy.
Buttigieg is how it's actually.
Or you can just call him Buttigieg.
I honest to God can't keep track anymore.
I know.
Of all the people who are running.
Funky names.
And
all the what names?
Funky.
Wow.
Buttigieg announced a bold plan for a 2,500-mile intercontinental river walk.
Aw. They should get Tommy. They should get Tommy and his crew to do that.
I agree. Touting the benefits of tourism and business revenue as such a project had already brought to his hometown, 2020 Democratic president candidate, South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg announced Thursday a bold plan for a 2,500-mile intercontinental river walk. At a time when Americans are more divided. Intercontinental.
Damn, that's going to be a hell of a river walk.
I know. I don't know why he's calling it that when it doesn't leave the continent.
It sounds really big.
Does it just go to the? Yeah, it just goes to the sea, I guess. And he's like, oh, it's intercontinental.
They're building it in preparation for when we get rid of all of the trains and planes and automobiles.
At a time when Americans are more divided than ever, what this country needs is a tourist attraction that will provide people from all strata of society with continuous strolling, dining, and opportunities.
Places to go.
Yeah, essentially. Gesturing that the architectural rendering of the Intercontinental River Walk that he described as his core campaign plank. Apparently, this is also going to help the environment somehow. It's just like the Green. This is like another Green New Deal add-on.
Well, that's what we need is more of those.
Yeah.
You can never have too much green.
Exactly. That's
unless it's a fungus.
Well, even some funguses.
Even some funguses are good.
Yeah, you eat some funguses. Yeah.
So you can never have too much green.
Have you ever been to San Antonio's Riverwalk?
Oh, yeah.
It is really nice.
Yeah, it is. Met the brown boy went down there one day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
He happened to be there at the same time.
They've made it nice again. It was at one time, and then it turned into a complete disaster because they just weren't monitoring it like they needed to.
Because they built it for the World Trade Center event that was there, right?
It was the World's Fair.
World Fairs. Yeah, sorry. World Trade.
Have you been drinking?
I wish.
Did you come into work drunk again?
World's Fair,
Brad.
But yeah, and then it turned into a really bad spot to be.
Yeah,
especially at night.
With like drugs and prostitutes.
Well, I don't know if it was that bad, but it was gang
No,
members
I'm saying,
and stuff
how
like
did
that.
I not know about it? That was.
But it's a nice place. I mean, I've been down there several times. It's nice. I can't imagine building one of those across the country.
Yeah.
That'd be difficult.
It would be difficult.
Tommy
but
Fisher
I mean,
could do it.
But this is because think about it. Ocasio-Cortez is like, well, we're going to build Amtrak train.
Yes.
High-speed rail.
Yes, that's what we need is more Amtraks.
That's right. Across the nation. So I can see this happening. And last but not least, wearable penis camera lets you record your achievements.
I'm sorry, what camera?
Yeah. Wearable penis camera lets you record your achievements.
Sounds uncomfortable.
Don't they make those already? It's called an iPhone.
Remember, anything can be a wearable penis camera, quite frankly.
That's just a POV cam. Is that what they call it?
That's just where you turn it on and then act like a dick.
Wow. Nice. That was very good.
Let's begin picturing a Venn diagram. On one side, you've got people who enjoy recording video of themselves having sex. On the other, you've got people who wear silicone rings around their penis to help maintain an erection. Why
Put the
not
two together?
combine the two?
You've got your camera in my cock ring.
Folks. Well, you know what, Brad? You're closer to the mark than you think. Folks in the middle of the Venn diagram might especially be interested in the cock cam.
And there you have it. I'm in the wrong industry.
It says capture your climax. The world's first cock ring with a camera, now available for $160.
And one of those is fake, huh?
One of those is fake.
What a big turnoff, dude.
Which one?
To see that thing coming at you. Okay, I didn't mean it. Okay.
Oh,
never mind.
no. Oh, no. Please, take a larger shovel.
It's like a GoPro.
Keep going. You got this.
On a gorilla mount or something.
It's
wow.
It's not. It does not look comfortable looking. Let's just say that.
None of that stuff ever looks comfortable.
It looks like it wouldn't fit.
Collars don't look comfortable. The chains don't look comfortable. That's the whole point. The little clamps, they don't look comfortable.
Oh, man.
That's the idea. Wow.
This is weird. This is weird.
You think? All right, so quick rundown of the...
All right, so here we're going to run out of time. Half of men don't know where the vagina is. Florida mayor arrested after Florida mayor was arrested. Cheese exposed to hip-hop tastes best. One of the 2020 candidates wants an international river walk. And, hey, wearable penis camera.
Damn.
Which one is fake? But first,
a word about APR coffee, because if you want some good coffee, you know what? I made some and I forgot to go get a cup. Damn it. I'm going to have to do that here in a second, because APR coffee is some of the best coffee you've ever tasted. And unlike that stuff that they make from like cat poop, what is that stuff called? It's the cat poop.
It's I believe it's called.
They do actually make that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's really, really expensive. And they say it tastes really good. I'm not sure I'd want to try it, but oh, come on, who am I kidding? I'd try it. But in the meantime, you want something that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and it's going to taste like it does cost you an arm and a leg. That would be APR coffee. It is really, really good stuff. I heard Matt Locke yesterday talking about how he had too much of it. Must be his problem every day. APR coffee. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. I'm going with the hip hop cheese as the fake story.
That's one of my three. I've got 3 out of 5. I'm trying to decide. It's because the pecker cam, well, that one's kind of hard to deal with. The across the country Riverwalk and the cheese hip hop. I'm going to go with the cheese hip hop.
Cheese hip hop. Cheese hip hop.
Cheese hip hop.
Cheese hip hop. And the winner is Intercontinental Riverwalk.
Damn it! Neither one of us.
Both of you lose.
I should have known.
You
Nobody's
can't
gonna
make
build that
cheese
crap.
better with hip hop.
Cheese is better with hip hop.
Cheese.
That is true.
All right, your Friday leftovers are coming up next on your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Well, it's happened. The dreaded effects on the environment are now hitting New Yorkers, not only in their wallets, but also in their toilets, according to the left. Let me explain. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio issued a warning recently to all New Yorkers. You see, the time has finally come to take regulations to the extreme, because after all, it's about saving the planet. And with that being said, nothing is off the table, or the toilet either. De Blasio's office tweeted out what it expects of its citizens when it comes to their toilet use. The guidelines set forth in a tweet indicate that there are only 4 things that should ever be put into the toilet: feces, urine, vomit, and toilet paper. Got that? De Blasio says anything else that New Yorkers may deposit in their toilet would create fatbergs. What are fatbergs, you ask? Well, it's the, quote, masses of congealed grease and personal hygiene products that have been found lingering in sewers around the world, of course. And in case you're wondering how the geniuses in New York came up with the word fatbergs, it's a combination of the word fat combined with the word icebergs. The guidelines for toilet use come on the heels of de Blasio's recent implementation of Meatless Mondays and the movement to ban plastic straws. So the next time you sit on the throne in New York, remember, just because you think you're the king doesn't mean that there aren't also peons who don't want the runoff from your fatbergs, or should I say fartbergs, polluting their environment. And they think California is over the top. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out NeverForgottenApparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
The Daily Mojo.
Still trying to process the cheese with the hip-hop thing.
Here's the thing, is I can actually believe that, because if there's one thing that I noticed, here's a good story for you guys. I went to, where was I? North Carolina. And I took a tour.
Obvious lie. This is an obvious lie.
I have been outside of Texas before, believe it or not. I went down to North Carolina. I was looking for a soul to steal, and I walked into a whiskey distillery.
Were you in a bind?
I was standing in line.
Wow. Must be Friday.
It's so stupid. I cannot.
Dang,
Why
Charlie
do I say
Daniels
the
heard
things?
us right now, he'd be all pissed.
Why do I say the things that I do?
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
It's like rain
on your wedding day,
which isn't ironic.
Yeah, I know. None of that is ironic.
None of it is
ironic,
except the fact that that's the ironic
she
part.
did put out an update to that.
Yeah,
saying
it was funny.
It has all the current stuff in it. It's funny
it is
as
funny. But
Anyway, continue on with your
walked
lie.
into this whiskey distillery, and apparently one of the ways that they distill their whiskey, they age it in barrels, is they play music very loudly. And so...
Did they do that at Jack Daniels?
I don't know. Apparently they're like one of the few that actually does it. But they learned it from Scotland.
I can see where in that situation where you have fermentation going on, so you got little thingies swimming around in there, basically, that acoustic waves would vibrate because it's like the Jurassic Park thing when you saw remember the cup sitting in the Jeep,
when they would
walk and boom, you'd see the liquid.
Yeah.
So I can see how certain vibrations.
Yeah.
Would,
because sound vibrations affect so much. So I could see it affecting the bacteria.
I can see how that would work.
Yeah.
Now that I think about
That's
it.
like Brad when he was walking out with the plant the other day. He was talking sweet to it.
What plant?
You want to see that?
Is it flourishing now, Brad?
Oh, I shall take a picture of said plant and show you.
That plant looked like it was on its last leg.
Did. Yes, it did until it gets to
we were all sitting around the table, and he's walking out the door, and he's like, "It's okay, honey."
Yeah.
Just once it visits Brad's house of plants and botanicals, it leaves with a smile on its face every time.
Yeah.
Don't ever underestimate. Little love, living things just need a little TLC and maybe some sound, some acoustic waves.
See, the one that I wouldn't have believed, honest to God, is the 50% of men and 44% of women don't know where the vagina is. Like, how do you not?
I see. People are stupid, so I can see that.
There are 44% of women just never look down.
Most of them probably don't even know what the word means.
No one can find Kevin, so.
Oh, yeah, that's
there is that.
Just saying.
Poor
by the
Kevin.
way, before I did want to present you with the in chair number 2. You get a special prize for being in chair number 2.
Oh, is that one of what I got too? Oh,
What?
those are fantastic.
Yes.
An inspection beam?
No, this is a cock cam.
No way!
No, but for everyone listening to the podcast,
you
they
threw
just
me
went,
under the
wow.
bus. That's right.
No, that is the actually from
the Coast Company.
From Coast Portland. They make the most amazing flashlights in the entire universe. Wow. Ron has a little one in there, and he has a flashlight too.
Oh, I'm going to inspect so many things.
Check this
with
out, Brandon.
Yeah.
Bam.
Whoa!
Yes.
Yeah, this
I know.
is fantastic,
It's
dude.
it's for such a little thing. It's powerful.
Wow.
Ron has a little thing. It's very powerful. I carry one with me wherever I go.
We need to put the...
Except today, because I think I left it in the truck. But, here's the funny thing. Right next to it, over here on the strap, is my backup.
Oh, is that the big one?
That's my backup light.
Oh,
The batteries are dead.
Oh, thank God.
For the love of Pete. That
Wow.
flashlight right there is the brightest flashlight I've ever owned.
It's an attack flashlight, essentially.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff. So,
Well, thank you guys for this
it's
amazing
not him, it's
looking
me. He didn't give it to you. I gave it to you.
Thank you, Brad.
That's better. Don't give him credit.
And not
where credit's
Ron?
due. Exactly. By the way, something else that is amazing is what you'll find in Riduzone, the OEA. OEA. Which you can, you're going to try to pronounce it again?
Well, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'm just going to pronounce it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's ole, 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 ole.
I think you finally did it.
Yep, there it is.
I think that's very nice. Earlier, we told you the story of Eric, who lost 63 pounds by taking Riduzone 3 times a day for 14 weeks. He had no side effects. He said he ate less. The weight came off. The activity went up. Because as you lose weight, you find you can do more things. You can run. You can see your feet. You can see your feet when you run.
No,
it's pretty amazing. You can get the OEA by drinking olive oil. You just need to drink about 12 liters of it. That'll give you the same amount of OEA as in one bottle of Riduzone. So if you are tired of being fat and sluggish, you really are ready to make a change, go to riduzone.com and you'll find a special deal. That, my friends, is riduzone.com. All right, I'm ready.
And now, Doc Thompson presents the Friday Leftovers.
Thanks, Doc.
These are the great stories that we did not get to earlier this week, so we will get to them now. In Orlando, Florida, 27-year-old Ayub Mule Abdurrahman Minimin.
It's a hop.
You can do it, Brad.
It's
Hobbit minimum.
It has M&Ms in it. I'm good. Arrived at the All-Make Auto Shop on Saturday to pay the towing fee for his Nissan Altima. Apparently his car had gotten towed. Authorities say that was no longer there when the property's owner arrived. An arrest affidavit says the owner was told a car in his tow lot was on fire. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says the owner identified Abdurrahman as the man throwing Molotov cocktails at said car through video surveillance. The owner put out the fire. No one was injured. Abdurrahman was arrested and charged with arson and manufacturing and transporting a firebomb. Remember, it was his car.
Yeah.
That he sent the Molotov cocktail to.
Oh, well, that's intelligent.
Why would you do that to your own car?
You must really hate that car.
What did that car ever do to you?
Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it hit on his sister. Maybe it ran over his dog.
Remember they did the LA riots?
Stole his girlfriend?
LA riots, when they rioted and burned down their own neighborhood.
Yeah, that never made sense to me either.
Why wouldn't you go to Beverly Hills?
It's the same thing with the Ferguson riots. It's like, hey guys, screw our town. Let's burn down shops of the innocent. In fact, and black-owned businesses. Let's do that, and that'll show those white people.
I would, with the LA riots, if I had been them, I would have gone to Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
maybe Brentwood.
Yeah.
You throw a few Molotov cocktails there.
Just don't go to the Asian place, like the Korean area, because
they'll
will
kick
shoot
your ass.
you.
Yes, they will. They'll do,
and they will, with an honest-to-God smile on their face.
Yeah, they really will. It's yeah, you don't want to mess with them or the Jews. They've got apparently that Magav Rev stuff. Did you see that?
Magav Rev?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was remember the guy who broke into the store?
The MAGA Rev?
Is that what it is?
I think
Whatever it is.
I believe it's called, oh God, what is it? It's no. See?
Yes.
It's Israeli self-defense.
You're going to find out that it's MAGA Rev, and you are going to eat your words.
Krav Maga.
That's what I said.
Krav Maga.
Exactly.
Which is inherently racist.
In Shelby, North Carolina, Joseph Lee Short had just appeared in court Wednesday on charges that he robbed Kings Mountain Bank. He and other prisoners were wearing their bright orange jumpsuits. They were waiting to be taken to jail when Joseph Lee Short removed one of his leg restraints and he ran out of the parking garage. He was gone. Bam! He was out of there. He was not going to go back.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah. What?
So he was a prisoner.
Yes.
Let me get this right. And he wanted to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So all he had to do was remove the leg restraint by himself.
Yeah.
Just kind of casually take it off.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, because when I have prisoners, I just kind of let them wander around freely.
Maybe he had a skinny ankle.
I don't tie them up with anything. I don't restrain. I just give them a stern warning. Hey guys,
sometimes that works.
Hey guys, you better not go anywhere.
Some people you just have to give a sternly worded message to. Others you do have to use leg restraints. Let's not forget what he was wearing.
Oh, okay. Well, it's his fault.
Yeah,
he was wearing that.
The sheriff's office Major Derwin Briscoe says that Short ran through several parking lots as deputies tracked him down after about 5 minutes. Briscoe says the orange jumpsuit helped him stand out.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Generally speaking, I mean, if you are... if you're trying to evade the police, you're running, it's hard to do that when you are wearing something bright orange. It's the Joe Arpaio theory.
Yeah. Don't you wear bright orange when you go hunting for that very reason?
Generally speaking, so you can be seen and not shot.
So what he should have done is turned it into a vest.
Exactly.
And then when they came and confronted him, be like, guy, I'm not an escaped prisoner. I'm just out here hunting deer.
Which brings us to pro-criminal tip number 17. Always carry a change of clothes if you are an inmate trying to make a run for it in a bright orange prison jumpsuit.
That's right.
It's good advice is what that is right now. And you're not going to get that anywhere else.
I feel like you were really helping them along.
They need to send Dick Cheney out looking for him.
Right?
Dick doesn't know what orange is. He'll shoot anything.
Wow. Fulton, Missouri. Kalisha Peterson is a 37-year-old nurse. She admitted to shooting her 36-year-old partner, David Dalton, at her home, but told police it happened accidentally. The nurse said that she and Mr. Dalton had been drinking.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah, right. They'd been watching a film on the evening of March 7th when her boyfriend suggested that the two of them play out a scene in the movie that involved a firearm.
Well, you know, like when you're role playing, you want to get into some really weird stuff.
She told the officers that they had then retrieved a handgun kept in the bedroom to act out said scene.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine what the scene was.
So I'm guessing. I'm going to assume that it was a scene that involved a little bit of forced loving.
Could be. Some of that stuff. Remember the mums that didn't like the rape porn, as it's called,
right?
Were going to show their kids their own version.
Exactly, and that's exactly that's what they're.
That would go hand in hand.
My question is: so she was arrested? Was she?
She was arrested. Yeah.
I feel like did the husband press charges or like say anything like along the lines of "Oh, she's abusing me, she's crazy"?
Well, it'd be difficult because he didn't make it.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they found a bottle of whiskey in the bedroom, too. Ms. Peterson admitted that she'd been drinking whiskey. She was intoxicated at the time of the shooting.
Okay. So
she also said she'd been taking several medications.
Oh, so she was pretty much off her rocker at that point in time.
Officers found bottles of prescription meds known to increase impairment when used with
I was
alcohol.
gonna say if he had survived, maybe with a nick or something like that, I think having been shot is its own punishment. And but since he died and she's stupid enough to use firearms with alcohol and drugs, then I do feel like maybe she should kind of go away for a little bit.
Well, the
Maybe
woman has
think
been
about what she did.
charged with second-degree felony murder and unlawful use of a weapon, according to Fulton Police Department. They would, however, not reveal the film that the couple was watching.
Well, that actually hurts me. I need to know. I need to know what they were watching.
Maybe it was MASH. Could have been MASH. Could have been Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
Maybe it was Pulp Fiction. No, there's not even a scene in that where you would reenact anything.
Unless she was being Michael
sitting in the back seat of the car.
No, she was doing the scene with Samuel L. Jackson. That scene where he's like calling down. He's quoting that fake quote from the Bible.
Oh, yes.
Say what again?
I will.
Does he look like a bitch? That scene.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
It does not. In cases like this, I think that they should be required to release that information.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, just for the enjoyment of people like us who are forced to read said stories.
Yeah.
A Florida middle school was placed on lockdown after 27-year-old Christopher Freeman brought a loaded AK-47 to the school. The man said that his son had called him crying after a resource officer slammed him.
Whoa.
I'm assuming he means slammed and not slapped. Who knows? Freeman, you're going to need more than what you got because of what I got.
That sounds like a song.
That's what Freeman yelled out, according to the arrest affidavit. Freeman, who was sitting in his wheelchair.
What?
He also said, I want to see the guy who slammed my son. I got something for him. I got something for you here, copper.
I got something for you.
Copper, you're not getting away. Watch me. I'm going to roll after you here. Don't move.
Roll out.
According to the police report, Freeman did arrive at the school in a wheelchair carrying said AK-47. He was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm on school grounds, disrupting the peace, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His bond set at $75,000, but the authorities are asking to have it revoked due to another unrelated criminal case against him.
Oh, so he has a history of showing up at places with a little bit of a hot head.
This man rolls up wherever he's
riding
that's how
dirty.
he rolls.
He's riding dirty.
He is.
So let me get this straight. Here's what bothers me about this. Don't show up at a school with an AK-47.
That's never a good idea.
Right?
It will get you in the news.
Don't do that. Don't do that. What happened to the dude who slammed the kid? Did anything happen to that guy, or is everything just on this guy now? Because I feel like
maybe somebody got the slip on this one, huh?
Yeah, I feel like the guy who
Slid
kind of
out.
started this got away scot-free.
Slid out from underneath any
and
sort
he
of
shouldn't have.
No, I totally agree with you there. He should not have.
If he's slamming kids,
then
I believe that he should be slammed in return at least 5 times that many times as he's done it.
Absolutely. Now, especially if it's
slam,
a slam or a
slam,
slap.
slam. Yeah,
slap or slap. I don't know. Is slam or slap?
There should, either way, I mean, like, line it up like they do an airplane. Just, oh, it's my turn.
But wouldn't you say it was shoved, not slammed?
What?
I don't know.
Well, he must have been shoved, and then he got from the shove slammed into something. In which case, the dude who's slamming kids by shoving them should be shoved and slammed.
I could not have said that any better myself. So
I will never be able to say it that well again.
Move right on here. 47-year-old Lori Morin of Cocoa, that would be Cocoa, Florida. She was arrested on charges of attempted murder and aggravated battery last week after shooting her boyfriend. Initial statements from
a lot
both
of that going around, apparently.
I know, especially in Florida. Initial statements from Morin and her boyfriend suggested the shooting was an accident, according to Brevard County officers, but the ongoing investigation determined that the incident occurred because the man was snoring too loudly.
Oh, well, if I had a nickel.
He apparently deserved it. Police say the domestic altercation escalated before Morin retrieved the gun and shot her boyfriend with it.
Good Lord.
How loud must you be snoring to be shot by your partner?
Yeah. Like, honest to God. Like, you must, was he, did his snores sound like he was summoning something? Like, they were that loud and vibracious?
Vibrationally.
Vibracious?
They were vivacious and vibracious.
Put some cheese next to it next time and just see how good it tastes.
Much like the Poltitsky twins, by the way.
What?
Oh, you're not aware of the Poltitsky twins?
I am not aware of the Poltitsky twins.
We shall tell that story at some point. Poltitsky twins, they are an amazing women. The couple's neighbor, Samantha Bobbier, said that I've talked to her a couple of times. She's always been really nice, so the news is kind of shocking, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the same statement that everyone ever makes when they're ever asked to make a statement about the person next door who turned out to be a crazy psycho bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She always seemed nice to me.
They always say that. He seemed like a very normal person. We're not sure.
He was always quiet. Brevard County Police said in a statement, both parties had been drinking prior to and during the argument. Again, a huge shock. Court documents show the boyfriend had brought nasal strips with him that night to help his loud snoring.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they didn't work.
Yo.
He might want to get his money back on
Maybe he just needed a little bit because they have those surgeries you can have.
I had that surgery.
Like minor surgeries that you can get in your nose.
Waller. I had him go in there and waller out this side.
Yeah.
Because I kept getting sinus infections on my right side.
Yeah, so maybe that's all they needed to do.
I still snore,
through all the. Oh, do you?
Yeah. That wasn't really for snoring. It was more for the sinus infections because I snore, but I don't care because I don't hear it.
Yeah.
That was funny, though, when we were in D.C. and Doc and I were sharing a room, and first of all, Doc likes it 110 degrees in there.
Oh, that drives me absolutely insane.
So I, to get him back, I mean, I hadn't planned on it. It just kind of worked out that way. I had my phone with my white noise, my headphones, and so as the room is, the candles are melting in the room. Don't ask. They weren't even on fire. They were just melting because it was so hot in there. I put on my headphones and turned on my white noise, turned and said to him, good luck with the snoring.
What?
Because he was going to have to listen to me, but I didn't have to listen to him. Her victim, by the way, the boyfriend, was taken to a local hospital, and recent reports state he was in stable condition recovering from his injuries. She, Lauren, was remanded in custody at the Brevard County Sheriff Jail there without any bond. No word on whether the couple are still a couple.
Well, I mean, after this, why wouldn't they be,
That's got to be some pretty amazing stuff. If you go back after that, that has got to be some, it is.
Oh, well, I've seen couples come back together after some, like my dad being a retired police officer now, it's those constant stories of, I know he beat me and he broke my arm and my jaw and stuff, but please don't take him to jail because I love him.
I don't get that. I mean, I think you get, She may deserve the one get out of jail free card from the guy. I mean, it may be that amazing to him. But any crazy whack job that's going to shoot me for snoring, nah.
Yeah,
I mean, it would have she'd be done.
Yeah, I'm afraid. I'm afraid
I would just be
that.
leaving. All. I'm not saying I'd hurt her. That would be incriminating if I said that. I would just say that I would just not hang around. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We will continue with your Friday leftovers in just a moment. But first, a word from our sponsor, Cat Coolers. Now, earlier, when you were still apparently sleeping in your bed, we were discussing Icemen and the fact that Icemen would still,
they will one day rule the earth. And
I trapped Ron into saying, hey, that was a dead profession, Icemen. They used to deliver ice to people's homes.
Yeah, from the big blocks.
It's not a dead profession. They still do it. They still deliver to convenience stores. How do you think they get their ice?
I thought it just magically appeared in those machines.
No.
Really?
No, the magic is with the Icemen.
The Icemen.
Magic is also in the cat coolers. And just because they are called cat coolers does not mean you keep your cat Larry in them.
I mean, you can. Just don't.
Larry may not enjoy it.
Just because you can.
Doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
Rule 5.
Rule 5.
But if you go to catcoolers.com and you use the promo code lazy and too lazy to come into work, or Brandon, either one, you can actually get 10% off said cooler at Cat Coolers. And make sure that you check out the blue collar line. That is really, have you seen the blue collar? Now Ron said that these things turn blue when it's cold. I don't know that that's true because I think it's just blue. But see the blue collar on the black and the white ones?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. I couldn't see anywhere. I couldn't find anywhere.
Is it blue or is it yellow?
Oh, it's blue. It's called blue collar.
I'm glad Ron got that.
The dress.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Blue or gold.
You know what?
Blue or gold. Yeah.
You know what? I'm trying to be all serious and talk about a serious sponsor of ours, and you guys are making jokes. You're making with the yuck yucks. What gives? How could you do that to me?
I just feel.
How could you do that to me? After all I've done for you. After everything I've done for you.
Forgive me, Brad. I'm sorry that I had humor on your expense.
Go to catcoolers.com. Et tu, Brute. Et tu.
Et tu, Brandon.
Catcoolers.com. Use promo code Brandon, and you will get 10% off the item of your choice right there. Catcoolers.com. Continuing on now with our Friday leftovers, we go to Fort Lauderdale, which would be in Florida. Authorities say that airline passenger Natalie Tremblay made what she considered a joke on Tuesday after a flight attendant aboard the aircraft in which she was sitting asked the passengers, "Who's the owner of this unclaimed bag that won't fit into the overhead bin?" Well, Tremblay reportedly said the luggage might have a bomb in it. That's funny, isn't it?
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah, the flight attendant was not only not amused, but she was alarmed by Tremblay's punchline and reported it to the plane's captain.
Well, then they tossed him off.
Yeah, this in turn resulted in the passengers from the Air Canada plane. They had to all disembark, and the entire terminal was closed at the South Florida airport. Wow. That's funny right there. Tremblay faces a charge of making a false report, by the way. She later apologized for making a stupid joke.
Oh, well.
Apparently, you can not only say bomb in the airport, you can say bomb on an airplane.
Yeah, you can't say bomb anywhere.
You can't say bomb on an airplane.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
Had she never seen the movie?
No, apparently not.
Let's see what you did there. Apparently not. See, apparently.
Apparent. Meet the apparent.
Yeah.
That's such a bad joke. Yeah. I apologize to the
audience. It was a good. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes the jokes are just for us. And that's all that matters.
I made me chuckle mildly.
That's
all
you know
that
what? That's totally acceptable. That is absolutely acceptable. Pro criminal tip number 4573. Yeah, you can guess. You can't yell bomb in an airport or on a plane. Stephanie, or whatever your name was.
Karen,
you ignorant slut. Moving on now to Hancock, Michigan.
Oh, such an unfortunate name.
I don't know. Shortly after midnight on Tuesday of this week, the Hancock Police Department was called out on reports of numerous gunshots.
Uh-huh.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Once arriving to the scene on the 1200 block of Ingot Street, officers found 37-year-old Hancock man standing outside his vehicle, which was stuck in a snowbank.
Oh, God. Is this going where I think it's going?
I don't know.
Please tell me it is. I think he was trying to maybe shoot the snow off. I don't know.
Officers investigating revealed the man was intoxicated.
Of course. Common pattern here.
Officers found numerous bullet casings on the road. It appeared shots had been fired into the snowbank.
Oh, God. Is he? So he was.
He was pissed at the snowbank.
He was pissed at the snowbank, so he's going to shoot it.
Yes. Wouldn't you? I mean, the snowbank jumped out there and grabbed his car.
Like a dick.
Right.
Yeah, you know what?
Total rule number 1 violation.
Yeah, exactly.
The snowbank obviously is not, has never heard the 5 rules and was not following any of them.
Yeah. You know what? He deserved to get shot. That's what I say.
After a search of the vehicle, the officers found and confiscated a Glock 9mm pistol. The Hancock Police Department was assisted on scene by the Houghton Police Department and the Houghton County Sheriff's Office.
Well, thank God they all showed up.
They were all there to watch this 37-year-old man assault the snowbank.
Once again, if you're drunk.
Yeah. It's really, this is, again, it's the power tools and women are like alcohol and firearms.
Yeah?
They just don't go together. They just don't go together.
I mean, in horror movies they do. But
Well, that's true. In what movies?
Horror movies.
Horror.
Yeah,
Either way.
Horror movies.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, here's my other thing, though. Like, have you ever gotten your car stuck in a ditch?
Only once, and it was my truck.
Your truck?
Yeah, I two-wheeled
Were
it.
you not just so mad? Were you not just like to the point where like you will do physical violence upon inanimate objects?
You know, I never got out and shot the ditch though. Even though it was the city's fault because part of the side of the road just caved away when my truck was on it. But
if I could get away with it, I'd shoot the snowbank.
By the way, the man was lodged in the Houghton County Jail and later forwarded to the prosecutor's office. So there you have it. A happy ending had by all.
Yeah, very good.
Those are your Friday leftovers. Make sure you get your communiques in. Use the hashtag What I Learned Today.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump says the U.S. stands with New Zealand and is ready to help in any way it can. In the wake of the massacre at 2 mosques in Christchurch, at least 49 people dead, dozens of others wounded in the shootings.
What has happened here is an extraordinary and unprecedented act of violence.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says there is no place for the hatred and anti-immigrant sentiment described in a manifesto, purportedly from a self-described terrorist who was targeting Muslims.
Many of those who will have been directly affected by this shooting may be migrants to New Zealand.
Some of them were dead and some of them were screaming.
Witnesses are describing the horror at Masjid Al-Noor Mosque in Christchurch.
On the floor, the bullet shells, so many hundreds.
The mosques were attacked during Friday prayers and filled with worshipers. I'm Jackie Quinn.
President Trump vows to veto a congressional resolution revoking his declaration of a national emergency on the southern border.
After 12 Republican senators joined Democrats to oppose the emergency declaration, President Trump tweeted one word: veto, in all caps. Earlier, he predicted the outcome of the vote, but said Congress doesn't have enough votes to override his veto.
I'll probably have to veto, and it's not going to be overturned.
The veto will be the president's first since taking office more than 2 years ago. Greg Clugston, the White House.
President Trump's attempt to convince North Korea to give up its nukes may have hit a dead end. North Korea's vice foreign minister saying that Kim Jong-un will be deciding soon on whether to resume missile development and testing and whether to end talks with the U.S. On Wall Street this hour, Dow futures up 95 points, S&P futures 9.5 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's D-I-A, thrive.com.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
The 3, which is a threesome.
Yes.
But a full, I guess foursome. And then 5-some. And then gangbang. You're in no man's land. Yeah.
No, you're in a lot of men's land. A lot of men's.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50.
Wow. Hey, guys, Ron Phillips from the Conservative Cartel. I want to tell you about a new weight loss product that's quickly becoming part of our MoJo 50 family. Okay, so it was launched by this Texas company who have taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. That's right. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. In a 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser, you remember that show? It showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. Rid-U-Zone, that's R-I-D-U Zone, contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. If you are struggling every day with cravings, try Rid-U-Zone. It makes it so much easier to control your appetite and not think about food all day. That's my problem. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to riduzone.com and enter code MATT. That's M-A-T-T. Again, that's riduzone.com. R-I-D-U-Z-O-N-E.com. Rid-U-Zone.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
You ever worn really good socks?
Oh, hell yeah.
Really, really good socks?
There's nothing better.
Keen makes some absolutely magnificent socks.
Yeah?
And they come in left and right.
No way.
That's how good they are. So you've never had a pair of socks that was actually designated left and right?
No.
I thought that was the dumbest thing in the world when I first saw it.
But then...
And, yeah, I've been wearing them lately, and today I'm not, and I can tell.
Really?
When you're not wearing good socks, and that's the problem. You start wearing nice things, and you can tell when you're not wearing them, because it's like it stands out that I'm not wearing them. Makes my foot uncomfortable.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The Keen socks, I mean, they're like $24 a pair.
Mm-hmm.
But
for a single pair, not like a pack.
Yeah, not a pack. But I'm telling you, once you wear a pair of nice socks, and all you need is a couple pair. I mean, you only need to wash them a couple times a week. It's like underpants. I mean, what?
So that's what that smell is.
By the way, did I ever? Doc had underpants. I have, and we still are going to go through his car. Do a Facebook Live. I got to clean it out. He had a thing for underpants.
Really?
Everywhere.
Really?
Really.
Like
the things you learn about people after they go jogging in front of a train. Underpants. Apparently his mom always told him to wear clean underpants. Because, I've never seen so many clean underpants in my life.
Have we checked his search history on his computer?
Those records are sealed.
Are they?
They are. Actually, only Ron knows that. Ron is the only guy who he protect. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the two of them had but yeah, Ron is.
Apparently, Beth said he had like 40 pair
of underpants.
Yeah,
really.
There's still some in his car.
Really?
Maybe he was one of those people who has to wear a new clean pair every day. You know, there are people
they could
who do
wear
that,
one every
who buy
hour.
Underwear and wear them only once,
and then toss them out. Really?
Is that not ridiculous?
Yeah, I'm too frugal for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I wait until it does. Socks or underpants, either one.
Dude, there's got to be a hole in the crotch.
Yeah, exactly.
And then here's a little travel tip for you. When you're ready to throw away your underpants or your socks, and you're on a trip or something. Let's say you're going to a funeral somewhere in Ohio. You take those with you, and then when you are, when you're not wearing them, when you're done, you take them off and you throw them away, so you don't have to take them home.
Well, there is that.
I've been
Makes
doing
the
that for
backslide,
years. Yes, it does. You're not throwing them away in your own trash can, and you're being able to travel lighter on the way home. So that is my pro travel tip this morning.
That
Just
is
for you.
actually a very, I want to say, intelligent.
See,
which
I
is
know.
Weird.
Surprising.
Me saying that.
Surprising coming from me.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Brad?
On the line, it's Rocky and Jaina and Sammy, who together are known collectively as the Bells of Liberty.
Oh.
Hi, ladies.
Good morning, everyone.
angels.
Good morning.
This
is Rocky. I'm the same Rocky with an I on Twitter and on MeWe. And
So you're the one with the
Bells of
mouth.
Liberty.
You're the one with that filthy, filthy mouth.
Yes.
Wow, she admitted it. She admitted
Notice
it.
how I end that with a question mark.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Go up at the end.
Probably wait for you to show your skills to everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's always nice to show off your skills.
Dana. Yeah.
That's
I'm Dana. Nobody
knows who I am on Twitter at this point.
Well, hi, Jaima. Welcome, all three of you. And you are now going to be, as I said, collectively known, the Bells of Liberty on MoJo 50. And your show airs, and I would tell you exactly when it airs, but the board upon which it airs is right behind the door, and I can't see it. So
that show will air at 2 p.m. at 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
I knew that. I was going to say
for
that.
2 glorious hours.
Wow, 2 hours.
He was getting to it.
I was eventually getting to it. My X-ray vision hadn't kicked in yet. So what are we going to be discussing on the Bells of Liberty?
So we discussed.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh my God, this is what we do.
So this is what it's going to be on the show.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, a sample of the Bells of
There
Liberty.
you go.
Quality.
No, usually
programming
we have
right there.
video, so that I'm usually giving signals saying stop talking to people.
No, go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Who has the talking stick?
Yep. Go ahead. The floor is all yours, ladies.
Well, I'm known as the main one because no one else wants to do the intro or the exit. So I guess I will have the talking stick for now. I guess what we talk about most, exactly. I guess what we talk about most on our podcast is we do talk politics. We do talk about a lot of conservative issues. I'd say we're definitely more conservatarian. There's plenty of things that we're conservative about, but definitely as we get older, like, I'm probably libertarian on that. So a label, if we have to have one, is probably more conservatarian. We do also talk pop culture and movies and things because sometimes politics is just exhausting and it's not worth the effort to put into it.
That's kind of my take on that. Yeah.
Yep.
You ever talk about
so
sex?
We do try to have fun.
Brad.
We're not beyond the occasional inappropriate joke, but not all the time.
Well, that's too bad.
Brad's got some. He's.
I'm what? What am I? What am I? Go ahead.
Brad,
I think what
Brad's
I think
just
that's what
feeling a
Brad's
little
trying to
lonely right
ask
now.
is, are we hot?
Well, I already know the answer. I already know the answer to that question. You're on MoJo, so I know you're hot.
There you go.
I just wanted to know if you
answered your own
talked about
questions.
sex. That's all.
Well, I would say it depends
I
on the
just
lighting,
wanna
but,
know.
you know,
See, I've got actually. Wow, was that the sound of silence from women?
That was.
No, well, we do. It just depends on the context of the question. We have actually one of the topics that we're going to be discussing tomorrow is about transgenderism. So I guess you can count that as sex.
Are you going to talk
I don't know
about
how it
the? There was a is a Facebook group for parents.
Yeah.
Who want to who believe they have what are considered transgender children.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Oh, that is disgusting. They're under 5.
We were discussing a couple of things before about like the topics that we were going to be discussing for the week, and we had talked about the story of Desmond is Amazing's mother and how she was, I guess, complaining that Child Protective Services was called on her because of the incident where Desmond was Amazing was dancing on the stage at the gay bar and money was being thrown at him.
But she said that apparently Child Protective Services found nothing wrong with what was going on. So, you know, she was just on her social media talking about how people are just haters because they don't let her son be who he wants to be.
She said it was straight up homophobia and whatnot. I read that whole entire letter that she wrote on Facebook, and I'm interested to hear what y'all's take on this whole thing is. Should CPS have been called? Should they have not been called? I'm interested.
Yeah. So we're discussing two stories that are related to that topic. We didn't particularly go into the Desmond is Amazing story, but it is some of the topics that we do discuss. We like to take sometimes an offbeat look at the news because our podcast has always been on Saturdays.
An offbeat look at the nudes?
News,
I don't know what you meant by that
N-E-W-S.
Oh, news. Oh, okay. Not news. Not new. All right. There for a second, you had
No.
I woke up for a second. You had my attention. I thought if we're going to take an offbeat look at those nudes, I mean, there's nothing
that
wrong
you
with
do on your downtime, Brad. That you can do on your downtime if you have any.
Poor choice of words there.
There you
I
go.
think, but if that's
I think it was the right choice of words.
Mm-hmm.
But we our shows have always been on Saturdays, and usually by Saturdays the news are kind of played out or the news cycle has changed.
Right.
So we try and stay as current as possible, while at the same time bringing some stories that you may not necessarily have heard of, because they may be local or they may be from a different part of the world, but that in the grand scheme of things, you can see something going on in a different country that may potentially occur here in the United States and how it impacts us as a culture and as a country going forward. Because as politics change, many of these things that we see wrong in different countries start to slowly creep their way into the United States, and you know, we end up with people like AOC and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, which are,
it's amazing how that happens. That instead of everyone now the word assimilation is a bad word. You know what? You don't want people coming here and assimilating into this country. Everybody wants to turn this country into the country that they left. That's not the way this game works.
Yeah,
or it shouldn't work that way.
Exactly. And it was always a matter of, before it used to be acceptable to accept other cultures and to learn about other cultures. And now that's labeled cultural appropriation.
Yeah, right. Yes.
So, how are we supposed to learn about other cultures if we don't integrate them into the fabric that is the United States?
Unless, however, your name is Beto O'Rourke. In
which case, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine that you culturally appropriate that.
In fact, they can get mad because you tried to get admitted honorably into the Hispanic caucus in Texas, got rejected, and then the left gets mad at the Hispanic caucus for not allowing him in.
Well, there's that.
Despite the fact that he's whiter than Elizabeth Warren.
Little things like, despite the fact his last name's O'Rourke.
Despite the fact that his name is O'Rourke.
I still say that if he spent the entire campaign talking like this, it'd get a lot more press.
Yes.
A lot
And
more press.
that's excellent accent you got going on there. I can definitely
thank you.
hear from
Thank you very much.
The problem, the danger of talking like this is it's hard to get back out of the accent once you start talking like this. It's like, you know, when your mom always told you not to go cross-eyed? Never to cross your eyes because you'd end up that way?
And then all the children, they chase you around because they're trying to get your Lucky Charms. And the little bastards won't leave you alone.
By the way, Ron, see, that's what happened to Ron's eye in there. The wonky eye is great. His mother told him not to be that way when he was a little child, but he said, no, I'm going to do this because I like to be doing this. And he's stuck that way now. You see, ladies, that's what happens.
Oh.
By the way,
look at the future he has now.
Yes, exactly. Look at what is in store for Ron. I mean, it's the future.
The story I'm going to tell my grandkids.
Yes, it certainly is.
There you go.
All right, so the show airs again. It is on tomorrow. It's on at 2:00 tomorrow in the afternoon. That would be Eastern time. That would be
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It would be it would be EDT.
Eastern Daylight Time.
Eastern Daylight Time right now.
Yeah.
Wow. I expected more from you. I expected more from you than not to know what. I'm just shocked.
It's always been Eastern Standard Time to me, so that's what it's going to be.
One final question. Of the three of you, which is the best sandwich maker?
Oh.
Anyone?
Public.
I know what's coming forward.
Well, that answers that question
No
right there.
one's
doesn't
coming
it?
forward. I already have no good hopes for this show. None.
Wow, that's wow.
We make different kinds of sandwiches, so it depends on what you're in the mood for. You could ring the bell for that.
Oh, okay.
I'm liking this show more and more.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was a little hasty.
Tomorrow, I know where I'll be. I'll be sitting in front of a radio, wearing a smile, and listening to the Bells of Liberty. What? I mean, what else would I wear listening to the show? I think that's getting a little personal. If we get into that sort of thing.
Whatever it is, I'm sure it's much better than whatever you wear during my show, because that gets a little creepy sometimes.
True. All right, Rocky and Jaina and Sammy, thank you for joining us, and we will all be listening with bated ears tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, to the Bells of Liberty at MoJo50.com.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Yes, exactly. That was exactly what I
That
was
is
going to say.
exactly. Yeah, that is well put.
I couldn't have put it any better. Had I tried to put it anywhere, it wouldn't have been better than whatever was put right there.
Well said, Brad.
You know where I could have been heard even more clearly?
Where?
Had I been speaking on my mobile phone with a service plan from patriotmobile.com/doc.
Yeah, son. Hit me with that Patriot Mobile stuff.
Oh, yeah. Don't slam me with it, but hit me with it.
Hit me with it.
Hit me with it. If you are with one of the big carriers and you would like to find out exactly where your money goes when you have it debited out of your account every month, or you write that check. No one writes checks anymore.
Who does that?
I don't think so either. If you're writing checks, you're doing it wrong. But when you pay your cell phone bill every month, where does that money go? I mean, I know it goes to your mobile provider, but where did they put their money? Did they put their money into...
That's a really good question.
That is. I was just going to pause there. Let that just.
Yeah.
I mean, is it? I mean, in the case of AT&T, could it be Planned Parenthood? Are they supporting causes that you don't necessarily support? So indirectly, you're supporting those causes that you don't support.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody does.
That's why PatriotMobile.com exists. They give a portion of the money that you pay them every month to FreedomWorks and FRC Action. Like a little FRC action, if you know.
Who doesn't like a little FRC action?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Not mean, son.
It's the weekend. I want me some FRC action. They give to institutions like PragerU, Students for Life of America, Camp Hope, and others. They share your values. They share your belief system. That's the bottom line. Go to patriotmobile.com/doc and find out if it is right for you. And you can get a new phone. You can keep your old phone. If you like your old phone, you can keep your old phone.
Oh, yeah. Only this is a true statement.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Don't get it confused with an untrue statement that was said in that exact same
right.
thing.
Yeah, this is if you like your old number, you can keep your old number. Yep. There are all sorts of plans for you. Go to patriotmobile.com/doc and find out which one is right for you. patriotmobile.com/doc. Are they bitching in the chat rooms or on Twitter that we have ignored them? Because we have not ignored them.
No, they are not. They said here's one from Kim Gummy Jillhole.
That sounds like possibly something you might want to have checked out.
Yeah, I was gonna say hit the doctor's office. Brad, get your mind out of the gutter.
What gutter? When was my mind in the gutter?
Or should I say ear out of the gutter?
I was never in the gutter. I was merely asking questions. I think the questions needed to be asked, so I asked them.
MoJo50 Groupie says, Brad seems to have only one thing on his mind today.
Sandwiches?
That's right. Yeah.
Men? Okay, when are women going to figure out that men are simple?
Yeah. We're not very complicated creatures.
They're not complicated in the least.
Even though, like, with the things that we think about are oftentimes ridiculous, but that actually drives us to being more of, like, you find more geniuses in males than you do women. This, This is not me being sexist. This is actually scientifically proven. We think of ridiculous stuff all the time.
Yes.
You ever seen that meme of the girl who's like looking over at her boyfriend, who's kind of they're laying in bed together, and he's turned the other way, and she's like, I bet he's thinking of other girls, and he's like, if I put a cat cooler on a motorcycle, I wonder if I could just eliminate the seat and just have the cat cooler.
Yeah.
And then just ride on that, and I'd have drinks anywhere I went.
See?
That's the kind of stuff that we think about.
We are very, very simple creatures.
Yeah.
And women tend to overcomplicate us. And that is that's actually the far left tactic of blaming somebody for your transgressions. So
women,
is that what women are trying to do to us?
Yeah, ladies. Brad's just over here being simple.
I'm a simpleton.
He's just over here.
I live in Simpleville. I do. I'm a Simplevillian.
He is a Simplevillian,
and I'm proud of it.
He is the mayor of Simplevillian. Lori F&D says, y'all so easy. Feed you, F you, shut the F up. That is actually a...
those are the three things.
Those are the three things we like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on the shutting the F up, that would be the woman shutting the F up.
Yeah, not us.
Right.
Not
yes,
us.
yes.
But
you don't
we
have
really
to
talk
tell
much anyway.
I was going to say, if I'm not here sitting in this chair, I'll bet I don't say 100 words in a day.
Oh yeah, no. If honest to God, I think the only reason I talk are like two reasons during the day. This show. And then when I get home, my fiance and requires me to speak with her for some reason. I don't know why. And then every now and again I'll talk to my dog because my dog is an amazing listener.
I will. Every now and then I'll look at Cooper and I'll say, "How you doing?"
Yeah. And you know what he'll say? Nothing.
Oh, she'd be drinking out of the toilet.
Oh well, that's fine. But my dog, he'll listen to my question and then he'll say absolutely nothing. Right. He'll just smile, and I'm like, oh, it's a good day for you then.
Yes.
Yep. Doesn't say a word, and that's the end of our conversation.
It's very, very simple.
That's right. Yeah. You ever seen The Quiet Place?
That's pretty much our life.
Pretty much everyone considers that a horror movie. I'm over here like, wow, that's the dream right there.
All right. Should we check in with Timmy the pilot?
Let's check in with Timmy the pilot.
He says he has a humorous story about a bomb threat. There's nothing says comedy like bombs.
Bomb.
What's up, Timmy?
Bomb's right. Hey, Brad, your dreams come true at the TSA. The other day out there at Phoenix Sky Harbor, they evacuated the terminal because of a suspicious package. So the TSA is doing their job. So apparently they had a bomb threat out there because of the bomb cyclone. There you go.
Thank you. You can't. Can you say bomb cyclone on an airplane?
He got them dad jokes.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Yeah, the bomb got him. So anyway, I'm sitting down.
You're drinking again,
go
aren't
ahead.
you, Timmy? You're drinking again.
No, actually, we're in a hot game of Go Fish right now. We're sitting in Orlando.
Whoa, you guys go a little crazy over there. Let's calm it down.
Wow,
okay.
So let's just get Orlando on the phone. Talk to him about this whole thing.
Well, not Tony Orlando.
Oh,
Orlando.
different. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Orlando Airport. Yeah, we brought a load of chocolate-covered mouse ears down here, so it's kind of an expedited load, so we're dropping them off. So
I live
anyway, I just wanted to.
I live vicariously through you, Timmy. I live vicariously through you.
Hey, you guys getting any rain down there? Because
we're done.
It's a beautiful day here in the neighborhood, and
we are done with rain.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I'm walking out of the building naked today and driving home.
Well, be careful because it's a little chilly out there today, so some things might look a little less representative of you than you think.
Yes, Timmy.
The trout are running over in the MoJo River this morning. By the way, I heard from some folks over that way.
Oh yeah, they're jumping out. They're jumping out of the river, and it between the trout and the salmon, the grizzlies are fat and happy today.
Oh yeah,
they're sitting on the side, just licking their little fingers.
Bob Ross couldn't have painted a better picture right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a great weekend. That's my report from Orlando this morning. Everything's hunky dory, and I'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Have a good one.
Peace out, Timmy. All right. So there you go. There's Timmy the pilot in Orlando.
And our Timmy the pilot update.
Not Tony Orlando, but different Orlando, apparently.
Yeah. They're in a different Orlando. Yeah.
So what are they saying in the Twitter? Anything worth listening to?
Let's see here. Asking for a friend, Jackhole says, but does your cured meat bring all the boys to the yard? Asking effing Saddle Tramp says, what I learned today, as people will attest, my cured meat is delicious.
I've heard that rumor. I didn't know it was anything more than a rumor. Apparently it is.
Does Saddle effing Tramp cure meat? Does she have a smoker? Does she smoke the meat?
Does she smoke after sex? I don't know. I've never looked. Hey-oh.
Hey-oh.
Hecky, I'll be here all week. Tip your waitress. Try the veal.
Let's see here. Richmond Joe said, anybody watching American Gods? Love me a Mad Sweeney. That's actually a good question. I saw that, and it looks very interesting. I have no idea what it's about. Is it about
Ian McShane, right?
The guy from John Wick is in it. He's like one of the main characters or some such.
American Gods.
Yeah, American Gods.
HBO?
No, I think it's on Amazon or something like that, but it looks interesting. I think it has some. Is it actually like about supernatural beings like that are gods in America? Because if it is, yeah, I want to see that. That looks like a fun thing.
I always want to believe that like Superman is true, like Spider-Man exists.
I'm sure out there somewhere, because anything is possible, right?
Yeah,
anything is possible. I'm pretty sure that out there somewhere is a chain of events that could lead you to becoming something along the lines of Spider-Man.
Getting bit by a radioactive spider
that causes mutations in your body that allow you to crawl on walls.
Or you could just go to therichsolution.com and find the right combination of supplements.
That's what you want to do to become a superhero.
Yeah, exactly. If you really want to be super, that's where you go, therichsolution.com, because there you will find all of those supplements. You'll find Gwen's story. You'll find, if you go to their Facebook page, that's where you'll find information on the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, of which we are having another webinar tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central. Is it Central Time? Damn it. Just go to the Rich Solution Facebook page and it'll be right there. Promise. Yeah. You'd think by now I'd know these things.
Well, sometimes you can't fit all the information in your head, Brad. I mean, like you have so much going through there.
It's a very limited space I have.
Amounts of knowledge that you have.
Again, I'm simple. I am very simple.
I made a mistake. Let's be Frank and PA and Lori F&D. I said that Saddle Tramp, TMB Saddle Tramp is a girl.
Yeah,
and it's actually a dude.
So
that's my
why do you have to label them?
The reason, first off, I just don't want to assume people's gender. But secondly, whenever you hear the word tramp,
right?
Don't you immediately think?
But you hear the word saddle too.
Oh,
see, and that makes you think of leather. Yep. And that makes you think of the smell of horses.
That's right.
And then pretty soon you're over the cliff. That's all I'm saying. Wait till you hear what's coming up next with the Daily Mojo. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
Really high capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Today we pull from the stack of politicians who are lying liars once again. This time we go to the state of Wisconsin and its first-year governor, Tony Evers. He got elected by promising a ton, including that he wouldn't raise taxes on the people of the state. Well, the progressive Democrat and late President George Bush have something in common, apparently. They both managed to lie about no new taxes. On Thursday, Evers decided to go on a Milwaukee radio station and say that some $1.3 billion of new taxes was pretty close to not raising taxes at all. And then he admits there were small tax increases in his budget. Let that sink in. Evers thinks $1.3 billion in new taxes is pretty close to not raising taxes. However, Wisconsin taxpayers have some hope in the fact that Republicans control both sides of the state house. So, how does Evers get to that $1.3 billion in new taxes? His new budget raises the state's gas tax and vehicle registration fees, while also saying bye-bye to tax credits for manufacturers and those evil wealthy people too. Meanwhile, Evers wants to expand Medicaid, put $600 million into special education, and put a stop to enrollment in private voucher schools. To say the people of Wisconsin didn't take kindly to Evers' words would be an understatement, but the governor wasn't backing down. Instead, his spokeswoman had this to say, quote, Evers' point was the impact of any tax increase on most people would be small, unquote. Yes, the increase comes to just 1.5% of an $83 billion budget, but for the people of Wisconsin, raising those fees and taxes would have a significant impact on their daily expenses, and that's what should matter most. For that, I say congratulations to Tony Evers. You've just received a lifetime membership into the Lying Liars Club, and in record time too. I'm Andrew Coppins. This has been By the Numbers, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Rocky with an eye just tweeted it. She was nervous. Why you gotta be nervous?
It's because she was talking to you, Brad.
No, that cannot possibly be.
She was talking to the Staggs.
No, that is not it. Although, have you ever talked to somebody that made you nervous when you spoke to them that they were?
I did, actually. One time in my entire life, I approached Jonah Goldberg at a party at a media research center.
Yeah.
And because he's the guy who wrote
dude.
Yeah, dude.
Made you nervous.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wrote Liberal Fascism, which is like one of the first books I ever read whenever I started getting into politics, and it kind of brought me to libertarianism.
Right.
And so, like, I had been reading his books and reading his articles, and so he was like the superstar to me. And we're at the MRC gala together, and I was like, I got to say something to him.
Right.
And I don't get starstruck ever. I just don't feel it. And
you're not feeling it right now?
No, around you.
That's why we have to have this table between us.
That's exactly it. But yeah, I walked up to him and I was like, you are the person who got me. I got into politics because of you. Wow. So, and he was like, thanks. Okay, bye.
Did he not even tell you had pretty eyes?
No, he didn't say anything nice to me. Oh. In fact, like a few times on Twitter, he got on Twitter to make sure that he told me I was wrong about stuff, and I felt...
See? You felt used and abused.
I was so sad.
There was a movie in the 70s, I think they remade it, called I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty intense movie. I think I saw it when I was like 7th or 8th grade. And the actress in it, her name's Camille Keaton. She's still out there. And she was, it's a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Horror. And she was at a horror con in Nashville, and we went to this horror con, and she was standing in her booth there, and I did not realize, and it crept up on me. I don't know.
Was she wearing horror boots?
She was. They were the pumps, actually. They were. But remember, this is in 78, so she had a few years on her at this point, so I'm still an attractive woman, but I walked up and I started to talk to her, and I was like, I like your movies. I just, for whatever reason, it's like, I've never been like that around anybody, and she just,
yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are other people out there that if I were to approach them, I would make a complete ass of myself because I'm so starstruck. But honest to God, like, you meet enough stars after a while, you just kind of start to get a little.
It's emotions.
It's all it is. Like you saw them and they're larger than life on the screen, and then suddenly they're right in front of you, and it's like, wow,
it's human emotion.
You're a person thing.
It is. You're a human.
Yeah.
On the line with us right now is another human. His name is Kyle MK, and Kyle is the author of the book, The Economics of Emotion. Good morning, sir.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Excellent, thank you. So the economics of emotion, and we were just speaking of emotion, actually, and I kind of tied this whole thing together. The reason we want to talk to you this morning, the college, this whole college controversy, this is bringing to the forefront kind of, well, first of all, a lot of emotions and a crisis for the colleges themselves. You've worked with a lot of companies, A, that in dealing with crisis management, and B, about the emotions involved in a brand. And when some of these emotions, if it's done right, you have a lifelong customer. Done wrong, and you have a lifelong person who's not going to be a customer. First of all, let's talk about the colleges. They are entrenched in this. They're looking dishonest at this point. What do the colleges do at this point to kind of rescue their brand?
It seems like a lot of the colleges are taking a bunch of different types of strategies. My favorite, though, is there's a smaller college that no one really wanted to get into, and they were upset that nobody wanted to get into their school. So they released a statement saying, "What about us? How come no one cheated their way into our school?"
Wow.
That's the funniest one. But all the other ones are trying to separate themselves from the scandal, which seems like an appropriate thing to do. That they're telling you that like they had no idea, and that like it obviously doesn't reflect their like policies and their values. But none of them actually mention the emotion that their students or the parents who got their students in there the right way are feeling, except for one that I found, and that's actually like UT of Austin. They're the ones that are like, we're also outraged that this had occurred, and we're going to do everything that we can to put a stop to anyone who got their way in the wrong way.
Right. And again, getting back to the emotional thing, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the brand loyalty in that. I'm a friend of MoJo. His name is Greg Nowak. He has long been a champion of the emotional attachment people have to branding. And he always gives Apple as an example. I mean, Apple will sometimes have these commercials that never even show their product, or never show the they never have a sales pitch in them. You see people using the product, and then at the end it's like, shows the Apple logo, and that's it. What about, how do people become so emotionally attached to a brand, and how valuable is that for a brand?
Well, the thing is that like Apple's a great example. I actually started my career there, and it's the thing is that if you want someone's heart, if you want the customer's heart, you have to speak to their heart, and you have to put a lot more energy into focusing on someone's emotions than on their logic, like a Samsung does.
Right.
You know, if you watch an Apple commercial and a Samsung commercial back to back, you'll notice that Samsung will only talk about the product and the features of the product and how large the screen is and the cameras that it's got on it. Apple shows you like what a human can do with their product, and they don't necessarily tell you what's in the product.
Gotcha.
They just show you photos of people being happy or less stressed because they have this thing. So that's the important thing, is that like if you want someone's heart, you have to speak to their heart. And it has a huge amount of influence over their customers. You know, there are other companies like Disney and Southwest Airlines and Starbucks who do all the same thing. They all focus on, the customer's emotions throughout their experience, whether it's through a service or a product, rather than, put any focus on the features of it.
Now, why don't more businesses get that? I mean, it's obviously been a very successful thing for Apple. But why don't more of these companies understand that tactic works? It's essentially selling the sizzle, not the steak, right? I mean, that's the old adage.
Yeah, I think it's two main reasons. Is that emotion has never been seen as a strength for businesses. A lot of like business leaders believe that emotion will lead to bad decisions, and so they are completely devoid of emotion in a lot of cases. This is, mainly because if you have to make a hard decision, you can't be too wrapped up in your own emotions. So, like more traditional businesses will kind of, they've taught the emotion out of their employees and their leaders. So that's one. So they're not even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And two is because every business that, has a product or service, to sell the product is a lot easier than to sell the emotion of it. And that's because, obviously everybody wants to be happy and they don't want to be stressed, but it's a lot tougher, a lot more unique experience for each company. You can't go to a business class in college and learn how to speak to someone's emotions. You have to like really dive deep into like your own emotions, and like how do you want to feel when you go through a certain experience.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no class whatsoever that does this. That's actually why I exist, is to help businesses do it.
Oh, and first of all, where can people get in touch with you so we can put that out there right now?
Yeah, I have a monopoly on all things Kyle MK online. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, it's all Kyle MK.
Kyle MK. All right, cool. With the emotional thing, and like you just said, nobody teaches this. This is what I would call like, I had a program director in Los Angeles who was actually, he's retired now, and with a lot of money, and he would always program from the gut. He never didn't use consultants, didn't use the books. He always programmed from the gut. Is that where the secret lies in business? I mean, do you go with your feelings when you're trying to make decisions?
Yes and no. I think that, if you're talking about only making decisions with your gut,
mm-hmm.
There are really, your gut is like a combination of the head and the heart, if you will. So the logic of any decision is what steers you in a certain direction, but the heart is like what drives you to finally make the decision. So if the gut is what you use, then fantastic. But if you only use like emotion to make decisions, you probably won't end up in the best spot.
When you get a new client who is trying to enhance their brand, trying to make it to promote it more, to make it more visible, what's the first thing that you tell them?
The first thing that I tell them is to kind of forget everything that they know about brand loyalty. They think that people who, if they have more followers on Instagram, then they're going to have a more successful business, and that's just not the case.
Really?
And so I try to make it clear that even if you have 10 people who are incredibly vocal about your brand, that's actually a better start than 10,000 people who are following you on Instagram.
That's actually really interesting to hear, because I've been told many times, especially lately, and you know, if you have a huge Instagram following, it's worth more than some people would say Facebook or Twitter and stuff like that. They say that, you know, you are your maximum influence capacity whenever you have tons of Instagram followers. So that's disconcerting to hear, because I'm trying to work on my Instagram following now.
Well, and interestingly enough, when you say that it's it's better to have 10 people who are very vocal about your business, really in today's market, people don't listen so much to traditional advertising as they do to recommendations from other consumers, from their friends, for example. Is that?
That's exactly right. It's all about the word of mouth.
Is it that no one believes advertising anymore? Is that what the problem is?
I don't know if it's not that or if it's that they don't believe advertising. I think it's that advertising isn't very authentic. And, you know, obviously every advertiser has an angle, and that angle is to sell you on something.
Right.
But friends and family, they're not necessarily trying to sell you on something. They're trying to share a good experience. So you are much more likely to take their word than advertising is.
That makes a lot of sense, and that's I've noticed that a lot of businesses online, when they start getting bad reviews, and again, this goes back to an old concept. It takes a long time to get a good customer and a very short time to lose one.
Exactly right. Yeah, you can spend a lifetime trying to gain someone, and a minute just to lose them. Exactly right.
Very interesting, and that's what we with our advertisers here at MoJo 50. That's why we do the majority of our we hate to even call them commercials, but I mean that's what they are. But at the end of the day, they're commercials. People have paid us to put their message out there. We don't take companies that we can't get on here and honestly endorse, because that would not be authentic. But it's trying to share and sometimes that gets difficult, because you find yourself getting into a rut and telling the same stories over and over. But the fact of the matter is, it is more about sharing the experience, like you said, than trying to say, hey, look, this phone over here, it's got 14 buttons instead of the competitor who has 13 buttons. And I think that's, again, where a lot of brands and people miss the point, right?
That's exactly right. I think that if a brand spent more time focusing on what they actually believed and how they feel whenever they use this product, they would actually get a bigger following that way, rather than just doing the hard sell of, the push.
It's a life hack, as it were. Kyle MK, brand loyalty consultant and author of The Economics of Emotion. And again, online, your website is very simple. It's kylemk.com. And like you said, you have a lock on all things Kyle MK. So I'm assuming it's at Kyle MK on Twitter.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Look at that.
Thank you.
That's great. Kyle, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. And we'll talk to you again very soon. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Bye. You could, of course, get Kyle's book over on Amazon. If you go to, if you just look for Kyle MK on Amazon. And that's, Doc always used to, and again, Greg, it's always about the story. It's about the emotion. And so many businesses miss that.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the experience. It's not about the actual widget. It's about what you can do with the widget.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really, I mean, again, it boils down to really simple things that, a lot of businesses just
so
miss.
it's trying too hard.
Yeah.
And you can be fooled into trying too hard in a modern age like this where there's so many bells and whistles on everything.
Yes.
And maybe that's one of the reasons that people are starting to go back to just simplicity. They're starting to relate more to simplicity and things like that when it comes to relating to one another. And I think it's, honestly, it's refreshing.
Life has gotten so damn complicated. There's so many things, and I'm guilty of it too. I think in this week I've not paid a lot of attention to social media because I've gotten a lot of things I got to get done at the house. But it's nice not to have to worry about all those other things.
Yeah,
because there's a ton of crap now. I got to check my Facebook feed. I got to check this. I got to do that. It's so many things. Remember when when they introduced email, that was going to simplify things. Remember how simple email was going to make things.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you have to be on every social network and have a presence everywhere you go and yada, yada, yada. And to hear, though, that, really what you really need is just a few, because it's almost like whenever you're trying to do it all yourself, it's micromanaging. Having 10 people who are loud about your brand because they're really impressed with what you did and what your product and stuff like that is essentially 10 more yous.
Yes.
And then that to me is awesome.
By the way, I've got 7,000 emails I haven't opened.
I don't typically open my email at all. I just say I mark it as read, and then I don't even see the little number on the top right-hand corner of the mail.
So
my
much
stress just melts away.
But that's it. And it's those little things that you feel your life is so damn full, and when you stop and think about it, how much of it really needs to be done.
No, absolutely. And this whole, it's creating a tribe. Yes. Essentially, it's creating a tribe, and I feel like we're so concerned about creating specific tribes nowadays in relation to messaging that we get out through social media and stuff like that. And Dan Maynard actually really brought up just a really good point in the chat. He said Gillette is a perfect example of how to lose your customers in 30 seconds.
No kidding.
I think
what the hell made them think that was going to be successful?
Well, they were going to try to harness the power of online social justice.
Well, they saw probably Nike's example.
And Nike worked. It worked for Nike.
Yeah.
But Nike knew their audience. They knew exactly where to hit, who buys their shoes, what they would think about the commercials, and all that stuff.
Gillette, not so much, apparently.
Gillette had asked men a few questions and got the complete wrong idea, but they got the complete wrong idea because they were trying to be too... they were trying to add bells and whistles to their... metaphoric bells and whistles to their brand. Look, we're in support of social justice, and we're all on board with this leftist behavior, and feminism, yay, women, yay, and yada yada yada. And people, especially men who are simple like us, we're not into it.
Yeah, it made no sense whatsoever, and yet were they just makes you wonder? Were they just copying Nike? Was there somebody in the company who said, hey, look what Nike did, let's do the same thing? Or did a consultant tell them that? Or did Bob down the hall in marketing decide, hey, this is a great idea?
From what I understand, I mean, if I were to take a guess, I should say more accurately, I think that they did notice a trend that was happening in corporate America where everyone has to have some sort of stance, And that's such a bad idea because look, if you're trying to create more use and trying to create a tribe, I understand the idea of focusing in on a certain group of people.
Yeah.
And they become your use.
Your brand ambassador.
Your use. Yeah, right. Exactly. But the problem is that whenever you center on something that's so divisive, it's such a gamble. It paid off for Nike.
Is it divisive or divisive?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't know. Divisive.
I'm divisive. I say divisive.
You say divisive?
You say divisive. I say divisive.
Oh,
see what I did there? See? So go ahead. Continue on.
There it is.
I'm teaching all of these tricks.
Thank you, Sensei.
You're welcome.
No, but just, whenever you have something that divisive or divisive, whatever one you want to use.
There you go.
You're going to create a tribe. That is 100% accurate. But if that tribe is actually rubbing everyone else the wrong way, ring-a-ding-ding, then you're going to lose those customers, your brand ambassadors. They're not going to want to have anything to do with you. The same thing happened with Captain Marvel, recently when Brie Larson created this us versus them mentality going into the movie. You're going to have a lot of people who aren't going to want to go see the movie just because you made it clear that they're not welcome to your brand. And so
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But for some odd reason nowadays, people want to, again, they're making it way too complicated to be associated with something.
When it really is as simple as you like something, you go out and tell one person. It's the old shampoo commercial. They tell two friends, and they tell two friends. Do you? Is that before your time? Do you remember that one? I think it was Prel.
Maybe.
On the screen, it was one girl. So you tell a friend, and they tell two friends, and they multiply, and all these different faces ended up, and so on.
I'm from the generation of having the urge to herbal. Yeah.
Are we still talking about shampoo?
I don't know.
Okay. If you're listening to this program, however, we would ask that you do that. Honestly, if you would just tell one other person today that you like it. I mean, obviously, if you hate it, turn the damn thing off and walk away.
Yeah, don't talk
just
about
shut
it at
your
all.
damn
just
mouth.
Keep that to yourself.
Shut your dirty whore mouth. If you like it, though,
by all means,
just one person. That's all that we would ask, because we're dealing with a limited window, as they say in the world of broadcasting, a limited window. So we've got to make sure we get the word out there so that next week we can still be in that window.
Yes.
We can still be players on the field, as it were.
A chip in a chair.
A chip in a chair. Did I, by the way, just tell please one person today and help spread the word. That is, we just don't have a marketing budget. So we're working on it, but we just don't have it. We're growing. We're getting bigger and bigger. This damn bell, I swear it is sticking.
Failing.
I gotta get some slippery stuff in there. Does yours stick too?
Mine's doing fine.
I just saw, speaking of complicated lives, I think I just saw Jason over there taking a selfie.
Jason, were you taking a selfie?
Was that you taking a selfie? Because he had the phone. He did the phone the way you know that it's a selfie, because they hold it up here and look up. Because you've seen the
that was not a selfie.
What was it?
I was taking a picture of the clock and telling my Instagram followers it's almost time to listen and follow
the Morse code coming up soon.
You have Instagram followers, do you?
Yeah, we're well on our way to 1,000 followers, and if I get 1,000 followers, I get a tweeter.
Yep, that's right.
We're almost to 300 by now.
Wow, smell you.
You're almost to 300 Instagram
Look
followers?
at me go.
Do I follow you on Instagram?
I'm growing too.
Who are you?
I don't know.
I bet you.
There you go.
What's your Instagram
You can find
handle?
me on the gram
at
the handle. The number 2X Jason. 2X Jason.
2X Jason.
I got to think
What's
of
the 2X for?
It was a whole story. 2 times.
Did he just say it was a whole story? Go on.
Whole story. Whole story.
The whole story.
His other Instagram account, 3X Jason, is like a way different kind of account.
That's weird because I have 4X Jason.
That one's in the millions of followers.
It's just a little group of people I like to call friends.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, it's not that big a deal. I mean, unless you're looking for big numbers, like
it's Jason's furry community. Is what he's trying to do.
Do you like to roll around those furry suits?
They're an interesting group.
We tried to actually find a group of furries one time at Cider Cave.
We still need to. We need to make that. We need to make that a thing and actually go in with like a recorder. And
and talk to these people.
Bring the camera and we'll do some in-depth reporting.
We'll find
pictures.
Well, we need to find because Cream Steve shows up to these things.
I'm sorry,
as you know.
Who?
Cream? You don't know about Cream Steve? Seriously?
I mean, for those who don't know what...
He's a legend. You've never heard of Cream Steve.
I didn't say that. I said for those of you who don't know, I wanted you to explain to them so that they would know.
No, right.
Because Cream Steve just sounds...
Because Jason, I mean, because Cream Steve is, as Jason and I can tell you, I mean, he's epic. All right? He's pretty much epic. Like... If you live in the city of Dallas, chances are at some point in
time... You're going to get
creamed? You're gonna either hear a story about or run into Cream Steve at some point in your life, and it'll pretty much be one of the most memorable moments of your entire. This is not a joke.
Not like this program. Right
he just kind of comes and goes.
Yeah, he really
out of your
does.
life.
Yeah,
Cream Steve comes and goes.
Yeah, he's like an enigma.
Are you?
You know.
By the way, are you in charge of the button?
Ron showed me where the button is.
Jason found Kevin.
He found Kevin.
Let's wrap this bitch up then.
All right.
You have to push the button.
You have to push it, though.
That one. There, see.
What do you mean it's let's go?
So you see, Jason actually didn't find Kevin. Which is why he's
We're
only...
going to keep searching for Kevin,
That's
folks.
why
We're
he's
gonna
only
find Kevin.
2X Jason and not 4X like me. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that tomorrow at 2 p.m., you know where to find me without any clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be with the Bells, baby.
That's right.
The Bells of Liberty here at MoJo 50, 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Don't miss it. We also learned today that a snowbank is a lot like Silly Sally. You can shoot it, and it'll just laugh and laugh and laugh. And we learned that Tommy Fisher has a fast, efficient way to get the southern wall built for border security, which means it doesn't stand a chance when dealing with the U.S. government.
Oh, yeah.
Sad, but true.
Sad but true.
The Brandon Morse, what, if anything, did you learn today?
Don't ever assume a tramp's gender.
Right? I mean, why we got to be assuming so many things?
I done goofed, son.
Right?
I done goofed.
Yeah.
I also learned that hip-hop has gotten way too cheesy nowadays.
Hey, I see. Let's see. Is that one of these, maybe? Hold on. I see what you did there.
We need a groan button.
I have one of those. It's right here. I just touch. All you do is just push that right there. Oh, that's almost it. Yeah.
And the last thing that I learned today was I learned that half of you don't really have a dirty mind. You just don't know where the vagina is, and you're trying to find it.
Right? It is simply research.
I
agree.
I understand now. I used to think that you guys were a bunch of degenerates. Not true. You're just curious.
That's all. What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Well, I'll tell you what the listeners learned today, Brad. Ragtime Millionaire Gravel said, what I learned on Mojo today, Brandon comes to work on Fridays ready to join Matt for a drink or three. Not wrong.
Right.
Not wrong.
That's a good point. We don't know where you and Matt spend your evenings.
Well, and you'll never know. Just Peachy said, you don't have to worry about clean panties if you don't wear any.
I'm just letting that marinate. Okay. Poor choice of words
Running
there,
Jackhole
sorry.
said, I agree with Brad. Left and right foot specific socks are the bomb. I
They
can't wear
are,
regular socks
totally.
anymore. I'm now curious. You guys have got me like
They
a
are
little.
They are bad to the bone. I will tell you that, especially the keen ones.
Mojo Groupies, Mojo 50 Groupie said, I can't condone shooting or snoring, but I can understand it.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Kirk Slightly Venomous Jackal said, when watching Shape of Water with your drunk crazy girlfriend, don't say the diddling girl is. Oh. That was not a part of the show, but that is very good advice.
You never know. What do you have coming up next on the Morse Code immediately following this broadcast?
It is Suspicious Package Friday.
I saw some of your packages in there. They looked intriguing.
They are. Jason's
and
holding them right
suspicious.
now.
Is he holding your package?
Look at that on the screen.
Look at that. If you're watching on Facebook, those are some nice packages.
Those are
going to
be amazing packages.
That is truly. I might even listen today.
Oh, yeah.
I might even listen today.
Who knows what we're going to open here?
Yeah, we'll get to those new numbers on procrastination when Doc Thompson returns from his Florida vacation. Remember today that your Daily Mojo is a Ron Phillips production, and well, sort of. I mean, half of it he left to the Browns guy over here, and we'll see what happens when that happens. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules, and you will have a shot at being both happy and right. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
Good job.